Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you another live stream. Tried to actually have this up for you guys at 12, but ran a little bit behind schedule, computer problems. But we are here, right? And we have more videos just like the previous day. And we're going to be listening to quite a few things. I actually have some other videos to back directly in the background as well too that could potentially fit directly within this story dealing with the Africans and others, right? Can't stop talking about Black Americans. This seems to be an ongoing topic that is just continuous. That just seems as though that it's just not going to stop anytime soon. But yet again, we are here. Yo, Killmonger, what is up? What is up? What is up? Bushido, what is going on? We're back at it again. And we got this young African man who is in school, and I want people to understand the reason why it is that again I keep bringing up a lot of these topics, and it has to do with the disrespect that is always being shown, that is always being given when it deals with Black Americans every single time. Again, I can go to this, I can just mind my business, decide to go play some Hell Divers or something, and I decide, let me just open up the app real quick, see what's going on. And kid you not, there's always an African sitting up there speaking directly on Black Americans. Always an African sitting up there running their mouth when they got no business running their mouth, when they got all these other problems in the world to really be worried about, right? So let me just showcase something just in case people don't, happen to understand. Let me just give an example here of how crazy it is that you got these Africans out here wanting to speak crazily, nonsensically when it deals with Black Americans. Let me just get this picture together and download this, right? And let me put this right here if it'll let me. Hopefully it will, right? So we see this, right? This young African man. Now, for anybody who is Black American, right, or anybody just been in America, the stylings that you see here are that of Black America, more specifically, Black American men. Nobody in Africa was ever styling themselves like this, right? Nobody like this was ever styling themselves like this at all. This is not an African style. This is a Black American style, right? So you clearly see this, right? You see the 50-50 cap. You see the do-rag and or the wave cap. You see the hoodie, right? One of his t-shirts had Nike directly on it. One of his other videos, he was showing some Nikes and stuff that he was sitting up there wearing. Right? These are again things that Black Americans have made popular where other people decided that they wanted to buy them. Like I said, shout out to Nelly with the song Air Force Ones. Nobody else was trying to rock or wear Air Force Ones realistically in that type of height up until that song came out. Of course, you had people still buying them. And during the time before Nelly came out with the song Air Force Ones, the bad boys are about like $40, $50, $60. At the most, maybe 70. After the song Air Force One came out, this is when they started bringing out a tremendous amount of colors, tremendous amount of designs, and all these other types of things. And then everybody wanted to now magically start wearing Air Force Ones. Again, that's a part of the culture, right? That was a cultural thing that literally took place. And things of that nature. But anyways, let me just let y'all listen to this video, right?
That I'm so proud of is the fact that as Black Africans, we're starting to realize that we don't have to look up to Black Americans. We don't. Black Americans have never influenced any sort of good on us, bro. It's always been shaking bombs, gangs, and all this type of weird things, dog. Like, it's always been that. Never a good thing. Finally, as Black Africans, we're starting to realize our worth. Like, honestly speaking, bro, they have to look up to us, not the other way around.
So we heard that, right? Let me just repeat that one more time, just in case I might have missed it. Let me just repeat that.
One thing that I'm so proud of is the fact that as black Africans, we're starting to realize that we don't have to look up to black Americans. We don't. Black Americans have never influenced any sort of good on us, bro. It's always been shaking bombs, gangs, and all this type of weird things, dog. Like,
Wait, shaking bombs? Wait, hold on. Let me repeat that. Did he say shaking bombs? Maybe it's the accent. Hold on.
have never influenced any sort of good on us, bro. It's always been shaking bombs.
Shaking. Is that supposed to be bombs? Like I don't. I like I said, Africans. I need, if you're going to really talk about us, I need you to learn how to pronunciate. Right? If you're going to really work on, speaking English instead of speaking in your normal language, which you're way more comfortable in and way more fluent in, I need you to work on your pronunciations because I can't even make out like what Black Americans are shaking bums. Like I don't even understand. And then even beyond that, what Black Americans are shaking bombs. Like, do you just believe? Like, let's continue.
Gangs,
Right.
and all this
So,
type of weird
firstly,
things, dog.
you're an African cosplaying as Black Americans. You're not even wearing natural African type of garb that you would even wear there, that you would even be found in. You're wearing everything that has been made popular by Black Americans, right? And I'm not gonna, trying to look at the hair real quick. I can't really sit up there and tell that almost looks like the before lineup of the 90s, that you would see a lot of Black males have, where it would just be sort of like a half moon, type of thing that was happening. It was a weird era where that was taking place and going on. It is what it is, right? And then using certain types of words, like bro and dog, that's not anything that's a part of your African language. Why would you shorten a word such as brother? That doesn't make any sense. You guys like to pronunciate. You like to say the full word, right? You don't speak in slang, right? You don't speak ghetto language, right? You don't do any of those things, right? Because you're highly educated. You guys go to schools, right? You got degrees, right? You study, right? So I'm a little bit concerned and confused on the use of verbiage. I'm confused on the style, and I'm confused on how it is that you decided to wake up instead of focusing on school, and you wanted to get online on TikTok and decide that, yo, let me open up this app and make a video directed towards Black Americans. You're able to do this because of Black Americans. The reason that people even care about your content realistically is because of Black Americans. Like, I'm just gonna be real. Like, I seen this dude content. Ain't nothing really moving. Ain't nothing really moving. When he's generalizing, just like speaking, ain't really nothing happening. There's really no engagement taking place. Like I said before, a lot of them will just wake up, pop directly online, and decide that they want to sit up here and speak on Black Americans so that they can get a little bit of light, a little bit of energy, because they seemingly can't create that for themselves. But yet these are the same people who get online every single day and try to tell Black Americans that, oh, everything that you do is from us. If that is true, right? If you guys are 100% the creators, why do you guys have to get online no matter where you are around the world? Open your mouths, open up apps, create videos, record videos, and post them, and make sure that it's about Black Americans. If you are the vibration, if you are the source, if you are the energy, if you are the cradles of civilization, why do you have to piggyback? Why do you have to use somebody else as a stable platform in order to stand properly? That's all I'm just trying to figure out, because it's not making sense to me. Because instead of y'all making videos that would actually matter, such as videos about fixing your country, your corrupt government, and all these other types of things, and a lack of resources that your people are actually able to touch, that is right under their feet, in many other political and humanitarian issues, instead of y'all focusing on that, y'all decide to focus in on Black Americans. Why is that? That seems a little bit weird. That seems a bit obsessive. And you got the nerve to sit up there and say that you are the creator, you are the source. How? People who are the actual source of something don't have to do this. They can just create, they can just do, they can just move, they can just act. They don't have to theorize, they don't have to contemplate, right? And then once they create something, they can easily walk away because they know that that one thing that they just let go, they can create 100 to 1,000 brand new things. It's amazing how that takes place, right? The source and the creators are telling Black Americans that y'all don't really have music, y'all don't really have hip hop, jazz, and everything else. Everything that you guys have, dancing, rhythm, food, this, that, and the third, it's all African. It all comes from Africans. That's a little bit weird. Doesn't make any type of sense. If you are the creators, you shouldn't have to look over and be like, yo, all of that stuff that you're doing right now is really ours. Huh? Because you're not trying to do that to everybody else. You doing it only to a specific group. A group, realistically, that is a minority for all intents and purposes, in comparison to a lot of these, 54 African countries where y'all got tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people just lying around. But maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me and my perception of a lot of this stuff. But let me just play this one more time. Yo, what is up, Nikki? Let me just play this one more time for the people that did not make it directly in here, right?
One thing that I'm so proud of is the fact that as Black Africans, we're starting to realize that we don't have to look up to Black Americans. We don't. Black Americans have never influenced any sort of good on us, bro. It's always been shaking bombs, gangs, and all these type of weird things, dog. Like, it's always been that. Never a good thing. Finally, as Black Africans, we're starting to realize our worth. Like, honestly speaking, bro, they have to look up to us, not the other way around.
So just let me just put up a picture. Right? Because immediately, automatically, when I heard this dude speak, right? And maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. But when I'm hearing and listening to this dude speak, I'm trying to get this picture real quick. This is automatically the person that I hear, right? Maybe it's just me. This is who I hear. This is exactly who this is who I hear every single time I hear. Let me just do it one more time, right? So focus on Apu from The Simpsons, right? Let's go back and listen. Now you got the picture directly in your mind, right? Let's go back and listen.
I'm so proud of is the fact that as Black Africans, we're starting to realize that we don't have to look up to Black Americans. We don't. Black Americans have never influenced any sort of good on us, bro. It's always been shaking bombs, gangs, and all these type of weird things, dog. Like, it's always been that. Never a good thing. Finally, as Black Africans, we're starting to realize our worth. Like, honestly speaking, bro, they have to look up to us, not the other way around.
Welcome to the Quickie Mark. Thank you. Come again. That's all I'm hearing. I kid you not. That's all I'm hearing, and that just dawned on me as soon as I did this live stream. I kid you not. Like, it was some crazy work. But like I said, he African, so it is what it is. But again, you shouldn't have been saying that we got to look up to you. Look up to you for what? To learn how to defecate in the streets? To learn how to sit up there and cook rats and other types of things that's like, moving around? How to leave our people impoverished in shanties, in shacks? Like, what are we talking about? What am I supposed to, when I look at you, what am I supposed to look up to and aspire to be? Explain that to me. Huh? Explain what have you done in order for me as a Black American to really idolize and look up to you? What have you really accomplished? What moves have you really set up here and made in the world where it's like, man, I really want to be like the Africans? I can't give you nothing. I can't give you anything. And then y'all want to say that y'all are, so, culturally sound and y'all got family this and family that. Y'all are some quite divided individuals yourselves. Y'all divide yourselves by tribes. And then within that, y'all do have like a type of further divide in different things of that nature. Right now, y'all got Africans kicking other Africans out of countries. Huh? What are we talking about? I've never at a moment in time seen a whole grouping, millions deep of black Americans be like, yo, these black Americans, we kicking them out of the state. No. No, but I've seen Africans. I've seen y'all out there marching and protesting in y'all streets to get out Nigerians out of y'all countries and things of that nature. But yet y'all want to talk about, how y'all come together and this, that, and the third and all this other type of stuff. But like I said, y'all got borders and lines that some of y'all don't even want to cross because of the history that y'all got that y'all still can't get over. Or maybe, misinformation. But y'all got it though. Y'all got it. Like I said, frying mosquitoes and all other types of things. It's some diabolical work. But you got it though. Like I said though, we black Americans, we are now looking up to you for styles. We're now looking up to y'all for fashion. Right. We're looking up to y'all in order to be proud. Like I said before, you're African and I don't see nothing African here. Tell me something African in these pictures. Because I ain't seen it. Everything on this boy right here, black American. I'm sorry, black American approved. Because that's the way that all of this stuff moved. He ain't get this styling from white boys. He ain't get this from the Arabs. He ain't get this from the Asians. He ain't get this from he got this solely. He didn't even get it from the Africans in the UK because the Africans in the UK also do the utmost copying of black Americans. Just to put that directly out there. They are not removed from this conversation either. But they claim that they got their own style and they made, you wearing so many American brands that black Americans popularized. You don't have your own style. Like, I don't even know what a UK style is, just to be real. And then on top of that, the emulation that the UK like to do is more so from New York, if we're going to be honest. But like I said before, in the UK, they think that they just made it themselves. They just put it together. It was just there. Yeah, the African thought process, it's incredible. The mental gymnastics, the loops that people want to sit up there and do in order not to give any type of credit to people who made things popular, that can make things move, that got the Midas, is crazy work directly. But it is what it is. It's cool though. It's 100% cool. Anyways, let's go to the next video. We got another African here. And when you hear what comes out of the mouth of the person, it's going to be incredible, right? And this person is Etrian.
Point, we are living completely rent-free in these people's heads.
Things you got back home in America.
So low-key, I feel like American and then the Eritrean society is different because if you're in America, you're by yourself. But when you're here, there's people that can help you, and that you're not alone. You have a community behind you. Everyone here is brothers and sisters, no matter what. America is you have to do something to gain someone's trust, or they're just for them to care about you. And so when I take that back to America, I want to explain to not even my friends, but my future kids that like you have a background. You don't have to be lost. Like a lot of Americans, they don't know who their grandfather is, who their parents are. Like, and so it's good to have like a good back.
Brother, what? Let me. So for the people in the back, let me just rewind that. Let me just rewind this ignorance real quick. Let me matter of fact, let me just pull this all the way back. Let me just pull this all the way back so we can just clearly hear this. There's some crazy work out here. Like I said, these Africans be just talking wild.
You got back home in America.
Woo! Low-key, I feel like American and then the Eritrean society is different because if you're in America, you're by yourself. But when you're here, there's people that can help you, and that you're not alone. You have a community behind you. Everyone here is brothers and sisters, no matter what. America is you have to do something to gain someone's trust, or they're just for them to care about you. And so when I take that back to America, I want to explain to not even my friends, but my future kids that like you have a background. You don't have to be lost. Like a lot of Americans, they don't know who their grandfather is, who their parents are. Like, and so it's good to have like a good back.
This African sat up there and said that a lot of black Americans don't even know who their grandparents. Brother, what are you talking? What? Dog, y'all smoking some high and mighty crack. Y'all on some Neptune, Pluto. It is outside of this solar system. Like, that is crazy. We don't know. A lot of us don't know who our grandparents are. What? Who taught? Who is raising? What is the educational value over there in y'all countries? Do y'all not realize our grandparents, at least for, let's say, like, if people like, 30s, 40s, stuff of that nature, like, grandparents are like, 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, right? My grandmother, before she passed, she was about 83, 84. Brother, what are we talking about? Lived in the same house, saw her every single day. I know who my grandfather is because she was married to him. Got pictures. I know who my other grandfather is that she was married to. Got pictures. Other black kids I grew up with, I literally saw their grandparents pick them up from school, come to their birth. This is, I don't even know what to categorize, brother. For the Africans out here, for the Africans that always pull up to the scene and y'all want to say that we got so much hatred and what, y'all are some of the most ignorant bunch of people that I've ever seen in my life. And yes, I'm going to generalize like hell because that's what everybody else does when it deals with black Americans. Did we not sit up there and see a young African sit up there and say that black Americans don't do anything positive, for or towards Africans? Like, we're always like gangs and guns and shaking bums, like can't even talk right. But this is what one of your own was sitting up there saying. That was a huge generalization. And I noticed this about a lot of Africans. They like to hugely generalize the black populace. Like the previous tethered ass after I showed y'all yesterday, when he was like, yeah, I'm happy that I'm a black man, 40 years old, and I'm highly educated. I don't have 1,000 baby mamas and 1,000 kids running. That, like I said, like the way that y'all be generalizing, it lets us know exactly who it is that y'all are. A lot of y'all like to sit up there and masquerade. And then the moment in time that you feel a little bit of safety, you feel like things are stable, now you want to start running your mouths. Now you want to start running these conservative talking points. Now you want to start saying stuff that you don't got no business saying. You're still brand new here. Champ, you ain't established nothing here. You're not really moving nothing here. Ain't nobody outside of us really sitting up there talking to you. Just to be honest, what I mean by talking, you're not on anybody's radar. The only people who actually care enough to actually see you is realistically black Americans. Ain't nobody else trying to sit up there and like really see you out, trying to really find you and all this. Ain't nobody following y'all styles. Ain't nobody following your cultures. Ain't nobody trying to see what it is that y'all influence, because you ain't moving and influencing nothing. The only thing that you do for and to is your own community that you've made sure to keep tightly knit, enclosed within America. That's all you do. That's the only weight. That's the only energy that you have to move. You ain't moving nothing else. You ain't shutting nothing down in America. Like I said. But y'all don't understand that though, because y'all think that y'all bigger than the program, and y'all think that y'all got more power and influence in America than black Americans. That's some crazy work. And y'all ain't even work or establish or sacrifice nothing here. So I don't even understand how you think you even really got anything. It's cool. You got educations. Okay. You got some businesses. Okay. What else? Nothing. Nothing. You can't sit up there and flip nothing upside down. You can't automatically just lead like a charge and have all of the eyes and the attention. Just basically, you can't do that because don't nobody care about you like that. America don't. And people ain't about to be sitting up there like following your lead either, because they're like, yo, you're African. Like, don't nobody care. Like, don't you got a whole nother country that you should be marching for and leading the charge? What are you even doing? What are you even actually fighting for? Because you don't got nothing here. Exactly. Anyways, let's allow this man to speak on the situation.
If Eritrea is so much better then America, why you got to come over here for your education?
Woo!
Why do you have to leave Eritrea to come to America to get whatever services you need?
Bars.
Right? Then you come over here, you get all the resources you need, and then you take your little skinny ass back to Africa. Listen, you guys need to stop talking about us. I know who my grandfather is. I know who my great grandfather is. Black
Bars.
Americans know who they are. We're American.
Bars.
1619 and before. We've been here for a very long time. Before Eritrea was recognized as a single country. All right. So this is the point I'm trying to make. Leave us alone. Okay? Leave us alone. Y'all y'all bought Essence and hijacked that.
Yep.
That's the last straw.
Like I said, like it's crazy, and the whole thing, going back to the whole Essence thing, because I remember some videos of some Africans talking about, well, Essence was up for sale, and any of these Black Americans could have sat up there and bought it, but they didn't. It was an African that did this, that, and the third. Okay, that's cool, but on top of you sitting up there buying it, what should have normally happened as a show of respect is like, okay, in order for this not to sit up there and go into the wrong hands, I'm going to sit up there and basically, hold this down. And then we're going to make sure that Black Americans can still do what it is that they normally sit up there and do. Right. That's in a sense how you have a type of unity. Right. That's how you have a type of bond, a symbiotic relationship. Right. So the African that bought it is, in a sense, allowing the house that is there to not be pushed out or dismantled or being somewhere else, and allowing Black Americans to still have that space to do what it is. And by allowing those Black Americans to still have that space to do what it is that they do, he is going to benefit from that financially more than what he even paid to even get Essence from the beginning. But like I said, y'all are too crazy, deaf, dumb, and slow to actually understand what a symbiotic relationship actually is, and how it is that if you actually formulated a bond directly with us, right, and saw a common goal, that it would be beneficial. Like I said, this should be a clear-cut example why it is that America is as jacked up as it is at this moment in time, right? Because going back to the case of reparations, if Black Americans were to get reparations, we're going to spend money at home, right? Which means America, right? We're going to sit up there and buy land. We're going to buy property. We're going to buy cars. We're going to buy clothes. We're going to put money down for our kids, which means that they're going to have money in their bank accounts, right? That's going to be sitting directly there, which banks like to do what is called fractured lending, where they want to split $1 7 different ways, right? And on top of that, we're going to be trying to send our kids to the best schools. So that's more money for these American colleges directly here, right? And then in return and all of this other type of stuff, money is going directly to the cities and to the states. And, that's way more that everybody's going to benefit, right? But people are too deaf, dumb, slow, and racist to understand that if you help out the minority that is here, that it is going to benefit the majority in the long run. So they brainwash a lot of people here in the United States to think that reparations is actually bad for the United States and for everybody else, not informing everybody else that they are going to benefit from it one way or another. Like I said, it's crazy work. It's diabolical. But like I said, this is why I just let other people just be strictly ignorant, because they don't want to see the benefit. They only see that, oh, this person is getting something, but where I am, I'm not getting anything, so they shouldn't deserve something because I'm not getting it too. Like I said, it's the dumbest mentality. It don't even make any type of sense. I'm not mad at anybody else around the world getting a form of reparations for or whatnot or whatever because of what specifically happened to their people. That's cool. Go out there and sit up there and do that. But for whatever reason it is, everybody else in the world has an opinion and some type of a say-so or a theory on Black Americans receiving reparations. I done seen multiple individuals who are melanated from around the world that are also in politics. And in a lot of instances, they like to play both roles. They're Democrat and Republican, melanated individuals, and they're going out there on these platforms saying that Black Americans do not need reparations. Reparations for what? All this other type of stuff and yada yada yada. Crazy work. It's diabolical in nature. It is. It's 100% crazy. Yo got jokes. Talking about some here goes Sergi with his vanity and narcissism again. Doppelganger. It's number 756. Only Gil. Let me tell you something. But anyways, let's continue. So now the next video that you're going to see is going to deal with an African that I showed you previously, right? So we're going to listen to him explain his story and how it is that he grew up. And then I'm going to give you the previous video that I brought to you guys.
Incentive that Black Americans made to better ourselves in this country and to put in law, we don't get none of that shit. It goes right to immigrants.
If you think that we get help from the U.S. government when we move here, let me tell you this. We don't get nothing from the U.S. government. Nothing at all. But I'm going to take my time to tell you how we do it. See, when I moved to this country, I was about, what, 25? I don't know, 25, 26.
Pay attention.
That's how old I was when I moved to this country. I grew up in Congo, in Kinshasa, okay? I did not grow up poor. Not at all. I grew up in a 4-bedroom house with a dog. We had a chauffeur, a maid, and a gate man. That's how I grew up. I was going to school in a Range Rover. That's how I grew up.
So you heard this man, right? He grew up rich in a third world country. Now imagine that. So his family has all of this money. We're over there in Congo, and we all know the history because I went over the history of Congo when it deals with Leopold of Belgium II, and how it is that the Congolese people were treated and everything that took place, right? So he's over there in the Congo while all of his people are sitting up there over there suffering. He's living a posh, rich, nice life where he got a nice house, 4 bedrooms. He got a maid. I ain't never have a maid. I don't even know what that even is. Because if you grew up in a Black American household, ain't nobody your maid. You better get up. You better make your bed. You better clean your room. You better do these dishes. You better vacuum this floor. You better mop the kitchen. You better take out the garbage. You better do the yard. We did not have no maids in a get. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. Like I said, that's far beyond, how it is that I grew up. I didn't grow up a privileged life. So like I said, a lot of this stuff at the most that we had in my house, maybe about like 3 rooms. That's about it. And that was just for like a standard issue house. Now, some other friends might have had like, a little bit more, but again, we all lived in the same neighborhood. And that was a standard issue Black American household. He said he went to school in a Range Rover. I went to school in a Neon, in some type of wagon, in a Chrysler. I've never rode in any type of a Range Rover or anything of that sort. Like all of the cars that we ever had, they might have had dents, they had a rust, they had the plastic hood caps, bumper was dinged up, bad paint. Like I said, I don't know any of what it is that he is even referencing at this moment in time. But my main point is to say that it's crazy how you got these Africans that can get online and they want to try to come at Black Americans about this, that, and the third. But yet your parents and people got all of this money. But what are you doing for your own people? What are you really doing for your own people? How are you lifting them directly out of poverty? I can sit up there and tell you how a lot of Black Americans, or show you how a lot of Black Americans have helped other Black Americans at least get a little bit up. Like I said before, that's crazy to me. But let's continue.
I went to private school. I did not grow up poor. Most Africans are not poor.
So we all heard that, right? That was a little bit quick. He said he didn't grow up poor, and most Africans are not poor. Y'all got about like almost close to 2 billion people on that continent. So you're trying to say that the greater majority of y'all got money? That's a lot. Because even if I go to research and look up a lot of y'all areas, people are living in poverty. A lot of people don't got electricity. Yeah, a lot of people out there that don't actually have running water. You know, toilets. Things of that nature. So I'm a little bit confused. I'm trying to figure out because the math ain't mathing. Because if that's the case, if the majority of Africans have money, then the majority of Africa should be like Wakanda, but it's not. So I think you're Wakanda lying when you're trying to tell me that the majority of y'all got money because I ain't seeing it. I ain't seeing it at all because it should be a revolution taking place. But anyways, let's keep going. I'm sorry.
We just have unstable countries. Unstable countries meaning, by the time I got done with college, I had a job. I was working in our family business. Okay, our business was making a minimum of 1K a day. A minimum in Congo, 1K a day. We were living good. Life was nice. We living good. Everything was fine. But we were still in an unstable country. Now, this is how the instability in our countries literally ruins everything. This dude right here becomes president. He was president for 2 terms. After his 2 terms, he decided he wanted to extend for a 3rd term. That's not in the constitution. Now, his fanatics was fighting to keep him in power because they were getting richer and richer every year. They had no reason to let him go because he was making them richer. You feel me? So these people started a procedure to keep him in power for a 3rd term, and the population was not having it. So this dude right here, to punish the population, literally crashed the economy. Literally. Remember, our store was selling a minimum of 1K a day, okay? We went from 1K a day to zero for weeks, sometimes months. And that happened overnight. That led to people getting angry. That led to violence. That led to a lot of people's lives being destroyed because of violence. All these people in power became brutal. They started targeting the population. They started targeting people that were against them. That's the main reason why a lot of people from Congo left the country, because they were being targeted by the government. You have to leave. If you stay, they're gonna find you and X you. So I found my way out and moved to the US. Now I'm in the US and I have to start from scratch. I literally have nothing. I cannot even get a job because I don't have papers. So first thing to do is go to the immigration office and get papers. That takes about a year just to get papers to work. So I'm just waiting. In the meantime, I'm getting taken care of by people in my community for a whole year because I cannot get a job. You feel that, right? So all that time, all I can do is research, learn, study, understand the country, and prepare. My very first job was a factory job.
So let me get this straight. So you came directly over to a whole nother country unprepared. You said that you basically grew up rich, but when you came over to the United States, you had nothing. That doesn't really seem or make any type of sense. So you mean to tell me that you and your family left whatever destabilized area that you were in, didn't prepare? Because again, people say, again, I just want to point out, he said that he is college educated. He went to private schools. He went to the best of the best schools over there in Congo or wherever he was going to school at, right? So you mean to tell me with all of that knowledge and information that you got, you didn't potentially, have like some Raven vision where you foresaw the future of, a political official of more than likely which the rich people of the Congo voted for? Because as he stated before, he was like, yo, this president we had, he was on a 2nd term, but he wanted to go for a 3rd term. And the rich people out there didn't want to get rid of him because he was making them more money. But didn't you just say that your family was basically wealthy and rich because you had 4 bedrooms, you had a nice large house, you have a Gitman, and you had a maid, and you were going to school in a Range Rover? So wouldn't that put you in that 1%? So wouldn't that make you a part of the problem as to why it is that your country was destabilized economically, because y'all were greedy? So in order to not face any type of trial or bad treatment by the people of your community, you decided that y'all wanted to sit up there and run to the United States to start a new life because nobody knows you here. So yeah, like I said before, sorry, I had to take a call real quick. But that's pretty amazing to me that this same person that wants to critique and talk about black Americans is the exact same one who fled his country because they were more than likely going to face a form of persecution because of what it is and how it is that they did to their own people. Because you more than likely being a part of that 1%, I know your family sold out your own people. I know that your people voted against the people that are currently there at this moment in time. Like I said before, it's crazy that a lot of y'all want to run directly from where it is that y'all come from, and y'all don't want to tell the full story. Y'all want to just, make it seem like y'all are, these types of people that never did anything wrong, and that, people are just coming at y'all sideways for whatever reason and all this other type of stuff. Yo, that's crazy to me. Y'all never like telling the full complete truth. And y'all want to pull up to the scene and y'all want to sit up there and try to lie to black Americans, be like, oh yeah, we don't get no money. We don't get this. We've already been covering these stories and following these articles detailing the fact that a lot of immigrants receive monies one way or another, receive funding and or help one way or another when it deals with the United States. Right? I don't even got to finish the rest of it because he's just going to, in a sense, talk about, oh, this is how we sat up there and did this, that, and the third, and all this other type of stuff. So let me just bring up the information that I got sitting directly in the background. Where is this at here? So we got, might not be able to see it, but at least the information is up there, right? So we're going to look at this One Piece. Shout out to Luffy. One Piece is real. We're going to look at this little bit of information real quick. Right? Let me just put this directly in front of you guys. Right? I got to take down what Mo stated. Shout out to Mo. So if you clearly look at this, and you can happen to zoom in. It says that immigrants in the United States benefit from economic opportunities, increased social mobility, and access to essential services like education and healthcare, though eligibility for federal and state benefits varies significantly by immigration status and can be restricted by law or include waiting periods, while qualified immigrants, in quotation marks, have some access to programs such as SNAP and Medicaid after a 5-year waiting period. Undocumented immigrants are largely ineligible for federal benefits, with exceptions for emergency medical care and services for children like school meals and immunizations, right? So when you go back and you hear a lot of Africans talking about, oh yeah, I didn't come over here until later. I didn't come over here up until I was like 5, 10. Yeah, that's because your parents realized that there was a certain waiting time that they needed to be here to establish themselves so that they can actually get, benefits from America. So this is what we talk about when we say that a lot of you Africans are getting stuff directly from the United States. Like I said, y'all want to play these word games. Y'all think that people ain't really paying attention. This dude literally said that, oh, I ain't come over here up until I was 25. I wonder why. I wonder how much establishing was going on for your parents to, really do what it is that they needed to sit up there and do. Huh? I wonder how much. And then, when it took you so long to come directly over here, I bet you were still over there living off of some type of form of money, probably living in some type of form of hiding when, it was with the dealings and everything. I mean, matter of fact, you probably didn't have to hide because y'all probably got a blocked off, community. Y'all probably got a nice little wall or a divide like they do down there in South Africa, right? Where they separate the black South Africans from the white South Africans, right? It's a nice little line that they got up there too, and it's like it is a stark reminder of racism. But it be like that though, because that's how people move. But y'all don't want to really talk about actual problems, and things of that nature, and stuff. But it'd be like that. But anyways, other things that we can happen to go directly over. Let me go to this third page here. Let me just put this directly up there for you guys. Let me see, what is that, page 3? Download that. put this directly in front of you here. Wait, now I got to make sure it's the right one. Yeah. Put that directly in front of you. So I thought it was going to come out better than that, but you got 3 different areas covering, migrants, immigrants, whatever you want to sit up and call it, and how it is or what it is that they do just so happen to qualify for, right? So when we look directly at this at the top, it says, yes, immigrants can get government related monies or loans to start a business, though it's not a direct handout. Eligibility typically depends on immigration status, such as being a permanent resident or holding a valid work visa, or on business criteria like being a minority owned enterprise. The Small Business Administration, or the SBA, offers loans to eligible immigrants with legal statuses. And immigrants may also qualify for grants if they are refugees, asylees, or meet the criteria for minority business enterprises. Nonprofits and state/local programs also provide funding options for immigrant entrepreneurs, including those who are undocumented. So this is, again, how a lot of these Africans are able to get money to start businesses. And just like the black woman said originally, all of the stuff that these Africans and many others are able to get are off the backs of us. And even though we have established these things and fought for these things a lot of the times are closed off, or they make it very, very difficult for Black Americans to establish a business, because they do not want Black Americans in America to be able to fully stand tall. They're fine with everybody else standing tall because they don't fear them. They don't care if Nigerians want to sit up there and start up a whole bunch of businesses here and do this and do that and build up they don't care, because they don't fear Nigerians. And that's what I keep trying to tell a lot of these Africans. Like, America allows you to do the things that you do because they don't really got a history with y'all. They don't care. They will sit up there and let you do whatnot or whatever, because you're not going to have a major impact on the government and everything else around it. Like I say, you are realistically a non-factor, and y'all don't understand it. Y'all don't get it. When it deals with Black Americans, we're very much a factor, because we are the fabric of this country, something you are not, something you could never claim, something that you could never be, something you can never understand, because you never came from here. You were not born and raised here. You don't have a lineage here. Let's continue. They said, do immigrants get money from the government to start a business? Yes, immigrants can get related money or loans to start a business, though it is, that's technically a repeat. Yes, that's a repeat. Okay. So go down to the bottom. It says, how much is refugee cash assistance? Since all refugees arriving in the United States are entitled to 8 months of refugee cash assistance, or RCA, from the date of the United States arrival. The RCA amounts vary based on the size of the family. Single person, $230 a month. Family of 2, $363 a month. Family of 3, $485 a month. A family of 4, $611 a month. And then if you keep going up in numbers, you clearly see how this basically adds up. And then on top of that, if you add in the fact that you got these Africans that like to come here and give birth to kids when they're already pregnant, or they want to come here and hurry up and get pregnant, again, it adds up on top of the government assistance that they're going to get, having a quote unquote family here that is now born and raised in America. Like I said, man, let's stop with this nonsense, man. Let's stop with this nonsense. Like, we can't sit up there and look this stuff up. Like, we didn't sit up there and see all of the videos for the last 3-4 years of how much money other people were sitting up there getting when they just got to the United States, how much they were sitting up there getting when it dealt with like SNAP and all this other type of stuff. Like I said, I still got the receipt of the person that had about, what was it, like 14 grand directly on their SNAP card, and then they had some thousands, they had some grands directly on there when it dealt with like the money that could be debited. Come on, let's not even play games out here. Let's not even play games. But like I said, they want to play people. They want to treat people like they stupid and like they don't know nothing. That's some crazy work. But so you heard that video. Let's go back into what he wanted to state previously.
Seem to be behind Black Americans with regards to how they perceive America. We had that same optimism 50 years ago. Like, it seems like they still think that the American dream is real.
So how do you explain the fact that we come here with basically nothing, and within 4 to 5 years, we start making 6 figures? Do you have any idea how much money flows in this country? Do you have any idea? There's money in places where you won't even expect to find money at. This country got money, okay? What you mean we are 50 years behind? We are not the ones out here boycotting people's businesses.
Hold up. I love when people sit up there and want to ask a question of which they can actually look directly into. Just because we have black politicians don't specifically mean that they are for the black majority. When it deals with politics, a lot of people are in it for themselves, right? When it deals, let's put it like this, right? When it deals with let's say white folks being in politics, right? They're in it for themselves, but of course, they're going to benefit their own people, right? The same thing with everybody else. Now, when you got certain classes of black folks directly up there that decide that they want to run for political office, you got a variety of things that will sit up there and transpire, right? So I guess unbeknownst to you, because you wanted to ask this question, right? Whenever you actually have a decent black politician that is about the black community and that wants to do the best for them, those are the ones that everybody will make sure that will fail. They will make sure that that candidate will have all types of bumps and bruises, all types of obstacles, or better yet, they'll make sure that they will never even get voted directly in. You have the other types that are directly there that are, I'm here, I'm a representative, but I'm just here for my own gain. I'm just here for money, to make money both on top and on bottom, while basically selling out the rest of the group. And then you have the other class who you would think are actually black Americans, but actually they're from everywhere else. We have a lot of quote unquote black representatives, melanated representatives, as I would like to say, that are both a part of the Democratic and the Republican Party. And a lot of those individuals are not even anywhere close from the black community. They are from everywhere else. Their lineages are from everywhere else. Their bloodline is from everywhere else, and it is not black American. Those people, I can tell you with 100% reassurance, have never had the best interest for black Americans. But what they will do is they will have the best interest and look out for their people and make sure that their people get what it is that they need, while black Americans stay directly where it is that they are at this moment in time. Right? Some crazy work, diabolical in nature, right? Oh, you got to be white. You gotta be white. You said you had Obama. Why didn't you hold him accountable? Correct me if I'm. Let me know what Obama's bloodline. And you're going to talk about why didn't I hold him? Let me know Obama's bloodline. Let me know that real quick. Let me know Obama's bloodline. Like you got to be white. You got to be anything else but black American when you want to roll up and your first thing out of your mouth after I gave what I felt was an adequate response, not even disrespectful, adequate response, just strictly like, yo, I got you, no problem. Let me answer this real quick. Now you bring in the Obama. Yeah, we can already see. We can already see. You said I am not white. So what are you? You still didn't answer the question. I said you're either white or other. I clearly stated that. Obviously, you can't hear. Obviously, you cannot hear. I said you are anything other than black American. And I know that because you would have said that you were black American. You didn't say that. So again, you just proved me right. It don't matter which way you sit up there and move the goalpost. You're black what? From where? From who? Anybody at this moment is online. Anybody can sit up there and say that they black. So what is that telling me? You're black since when? Black since when? Because the craziest part is, if you were a black American, you wouldn't be talking like this. Because black Americans talk a certain type of way, even if we have disagreements, even if it deals with voting and all this other type of stuff. Since you were born where? Are you not hearing? Are you not hearing questions? Are you not understanding? Do you not have comprehension skills? Where? Where your grandparents from? Where your great grandparents from? Where are those parents from? And where are those parents from? What are we talking about? There's a lot of Africans at this moment in time that want to sit up there and say, "Oh, I'm black." And there we go. Like I said, like I said, you knew exactly what I was getting to, and you waited all this long to sit up there. Oh, I'm African. So why are you not worried about African business? Why are you not worried about your African home? Why are you not sitting up there building up said African home, keeping your political officials accountable, holding them accountable, and prosecuting them whenever they're robbing and stealing directly from the voters? Why ain't you sitting up there doing that? Why ain't you doing that? See, Africans, this is what I be talking about. For anybody else that's African directly in this chat, this is exactly what I be sitting up there getting directly through. Y'all want to say that, oh, Seji, you're xenophobic, you're this, you're that. Simply answer a question. If I ask you where it is that you're from, say that. Don't sit up there and tell me that, oh, you're not white. That's not what I say. Exactly where it is that you're from, and that's going to automatically let me know why it is that you're talking the way that you talk. Because as you come here trying to present your question to me, you're not doing that to people back home. If you are even back, matter of fact, where are you even located? You said, why does my question offend you? You're going to ask me about Obama, and you're an African, and you're going to, I'm going to let that simmer for, you're going to ask me about Obama, and you're African. I'm going to let that simmer real quick to see if you can connect the dots. I'm going to let you see if you can connect the dots directly on that. How do I sound miserable though? Let me know. I'm proud to be Black American. I'm proud of my history. I'm proud of my culture. I'm proud of my heritage. I am not a run. I did do track, but I'm not a runner though. I'm not a fleer. Any moment in time that I've ever had troubles, that I've ever had issues in these United States, I ain't never run over to Africa. I'll tell you that. I ain't never run over to nobody else's land because I couldn't face and deal with whatever it was that was going down. I can tell you that one. Like I said, whenever it is that we start talking to y'all and we start having these conversations, when y'all can't actually say anything logically back, right? Or stay directly on the topic, that's what y'all like to sit up there and do. Y'all like to sit up there and start laughing because you don't got nothing else. You done ran directly out of gas. You want to tell me why am I not holding my political officials accountable? I listed you the different tiers of political officials that are directly there, and how it is that if they are Black American trying to do things for Black Americans, that hey, we're going to make sure that you're going to fail. Right? Last time I checked, Nigeria was one of the main capitals out of the world when it dealt with birth side of wedlock, when it dealt with women. Those are African women that are lying on Nigerian men, stating that this is your child or children when they are not. That's crazy. How many of your family have showed up on the Christian Children's Fund commercial? How many of your family have received funds from the Red Cross and all that other type of stuff, like donations from around the world? Because I can tell you, my family never got any of those because we didn't need them. I'm just putting those directly out there. We never needed no type of mosquito nets. We didn't have to really worry about clean water, hospitals. We didn't have to worry about some common brown and blackouts because they want to roll the power directly through. I didn't have to worry about growing up without electricity. I didn't have to worry about growing up and having to worry about dirt roads and all this other. I didn't have to worry about scammers. I didn't have to worry about trying to, eat the food or what people would consider food of the rodents that are running around, outside and all this other type. I never had to do that. I never had to do that. I never had to sit up there and do that. Like, that's crazy to me. That's 100% crazy. And then you just want to keep going with the hold on. Let me go real quick. Dun, dun, dun. Like I said, let me just look at Nigeria just for like one instance, right? Let me just look at conditions. They said Nigeria's conditions are marked by ongoing security challenges, including terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, civil unrest, particularly in northwest and northeast regions, right? Economically, the country is implementing bold reforms to improve their macroeconomic stability, right? And all of these other types of things, right? But they also state, if you go further down, that through these challenges like poverty and limited access to electricity persist, socially, Nigeria faces issues such as pervasive poverty, a high rate of food insecurity, limited access to healthcare and sanitation, and concerns over human rights, including threats against journalists and the pervasive issue of corruption. Like I said before, when I sit up there and look at the black community, all of the stuff that they sit up there talking about, I was never in fear of, or I never thought about ever in my life that, yo, somebody is going to sit up there and like really kidnap me. Right. In America, like that might be, some type of like we had the kids on the milk carton and commercials and stuff like that. But in general, I'm sorry, black American kids didn't really grow up be like, yo, somebody's gonna sit up there and kidnap me one. That was never, a type of thing. Banditry, that's crazy. Terrorism. Terrorism? Terrorism? Like 9/11? Like what are we talking about here? Like that's crazy. That's completely crazy. And then on top of that, again, what was that now with Jerry? They got the poverty, right? A high rate of food insecurity. Never at a moment in time did I ever worry about where food was coming from. We had meals, we had dinners, lunch, breakfast, all of that. I never worried about food insecurity, right? I never worried about limited access to healthcare or sanitation. Like I said, I've never had to use the bathroom in the streets. I've never had to use the bathroom in the streets. Let me know what that's like. Let me specifically know what that's like. Like I said, y'all got tons of baby mamas over there in Africa if you want to sit up there and be real. Isn't that why y'all population is like close to like 10 million directly on that whole landmass? Let's not play games out here. Let's not play games. Let's not make it seem like every African man is married to all of those African women that he done got impregnated. And matter of fact, let me just take the bar down just a little bit. Let's not act like all of the African men are married to the teens that they more than likely have relations with. But I'm pretty sure you don't want to talk about that though, right? I bet you don't want to talk about that though, right? You don't want to talk about your African men over there with your daughters, father and kids. You don't want to talk about that though, right? Right? Because remember, your population, you have a higher population than Black America. We are nowhere close in combination to your population at all. We are nowhere even close. But even still, with all of the people that you got there, that landmass is in ruins, filled with corruption, filled with poverty, filled with people that don't have electricity, basic every day needs, necessities, all those things. Filled with people who can't even actually manage an actual living wage. It's crazy how Africans want to come directly up here and talk about Black Americans when literally my $100 can buy up a whole bunch of things directly. Matter of fact, I forgot. Let me just go directly over to let me just look up this real quick. 100 USD to what is it, Naira, Nigerian currency? Yeah, let's look at that real quick, right? So basically, for any Black American here, if you ever wanted to go to Nigeria, your $100 equals 1,500. I'm sorry, 1,000. If I'm sorry, oh Jesus Christ, we get my words mixed. $153,450. I would actually love for somebody to clip that because, like I said, I like messing up on stuff. Any which way it goes, our $100 is worth over $100K in your currency. I'm just going to let that breathe. And that's just one area in Africa. Just one area. Just one area. So then, hold on. Let me. Matter of fact, I might just sit up there. So, like I said, a lot of Black Americans have had like $1,000, right? Matter of fact, let me put it to some. How much do most? I say, let's just sit up there and say like $4,000, right? Right. Let me put that directly up there because I love doing this. I love doing this. So for any Black American, let me just showcase this because you got Africans that want to pull up to the scene, and say some stuff and rah 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 rah. Let's go directly to this. So I want everybody to just read that. To me, that looks to be about 6.1 milli, right? And that's 4,000 USD. 4,000 USD. So any Black American, if you ever wanted to go to Nigeria, just take you $4,000 and you'll be there comfortable. You'll be sitting there. You'll be sitting like a king. If you ever wanted to be a millionaire, go directly to Africa. You'll be living directly like a king because that's how much our money is worth. Somebody said, what would you even buy over there? I couldn't even tell you. I don't even know. I mean, of course, standard issue got cars and stuff. They, probably got some restaurants, clubs, and stuff of that nature. But like I said before, if you ever wanted to live like a king, you can do it. Go over there, get you some land real quick. Go over there and get you a house. I'm pretty sure it would not take you that much to sit up there and do it. Like I said, this is only 4K. Any Black American out here can sit up there and at one point in time or another, or even right now, has had or will have or can get 4K. Like I said, that's crazy work. Now, in reverse, they money ain't worth a lot. In reverse, they money is not worth a lot. Just saying. Man, Big GT was like, yo, they probably don't even got PlayStation. That's crazy. That's diabolical. That is diabolical. Andrew Woodson said that the average Nigerian makes $40 a month. Ooh. That's crazy. Rob was like, yo, Mr. Beast have to turn your water on. And that's the crazy part. That's the crazy. And I watched those videos where you got Mr. Beast and other people going directly over there to sit up there and help out. Like, how is it that you got content creators, in a sense, doing more than the people there and the government? That is wild. Like, you wonder why it is that people always sit up there. You wonder why we have the replies that we have when it deals with these things. That's because this is what we always see. We see everybody going over there to always help out Africa because seemingly Africa cannot help out itself. So what do you expect us to sit up there and say? How do you expect us to, in a sense, look at it when every single time we turn around, it seems as though that the whole world has to come through and basically bail y'all out of a situation? It don't matter if it's a pandemic, don't matter if it's, dealing with some variety of diseases or whatnot or whatever, or even if y'all need food or water or electricity, or even schools. That was one of the main cornerstones that was happening at a moment in time when it dealt with celebrities, Black celebrities, that they would go directly over to Africa, Oprah, and open up some schools because seemingly y'all couldn't do it. Y'all just didn't have the ability to sit up there and just build something yourselves. Y'all just don't got the money. But y'all get mad when we start saying stuff, though, right? That's crazy. That is diabolical. And the crazy part is, I would be the type of person, if at any moment in time that I had a large sum of money and I was to go over to Africa, I would pull like some Mansa Musa type stuff and I would just start like throwing money. Cause I'm like, yo, I'm looking at how everybody's sitting up there living, how people got a lot of different situations directly on their minds and stuff like that. I just sit up there and start like throwing money, like add a little bit of happiness to people, right? Add a throw a nice injection of money that ain't nobody had to like give from their own pockets in order to keep things going. Like I said, like that's a whole nother source of which nobody has to add into or take anything from. It's just free. But like I said, that's my mentality being a Black American because I understand certain situations. Y'all don't understand that. Y'all could never. Y'all can't even see it either. But it be like that though. It's a clear cut. It's a difference. It's a difference, right? Somebody said. Big GT said. Did that person get deported to the shadow realm? They probably did. They probably did. Probably did. Probably did. But I pointed that out before, though. That's the whole thing. I've pointed out the positive things when it deals with Africa. Like I said, I've done that. I've done videos. I've actually covered those stories of the out of the let me just do it like the Africans do. They got 54 countries, but out of those 54 countries, there's either a handful or less than a handful that is actually fighting back against Europe and actually taking a stand to the point where the rest of the world are stopping and staring and actually paying attention. So other than that, what is everybody else doing? That's all I'm saying. Because if people were so unified on that continent as everybody wants to make it seem, who's over there and who's in the UK and all this other type of stuff, then Africa would be a first world. Right? Nobody will be able to say anything. Africa will be getting the same treatment that China's getting, where people got to respect it. Irregardless on if you disagree with it or not, you got to sit up there and respect it because of where it is that they are. Africa is not there yet, especially as a country. China's there because they're moving as a whole people. No matter what type of different providences that they have and all this other type of stuff, they're moving as a people. They move as a group, unison. Africa ain't doing that. Y'all still got a lot of borders. They still got a lot of tribalism, all this other type of stuff to divide themselves. The same things that they want to talk about Black Americans. Oh, Black Americans, you guys are so divisive. You divide yourselves by blocks, by colors, by this and by that, and then we Africans, we don't do that. We are a family. Like I said, crazy. It's diabolical. But it be like that though. It be like that. It be like that. Anyways, let's wait. Did we finish off with that second video? Did we? Oh, we actually have more to that video. My bad.
I'm trying to understand how someone who's ahead is boycotting someone who's behind. You see that? Too much ego makes you say anything. You're not even making any sense. You're just yapping. There's money in this country. If you don't know how to make money, come talk to us. We're going to tell you how to make some money. America is the best country in the world. The only problem with this country is the government. It's the people in the government. These people are the problem. The American people, wonderful people, except, a few. But the American people in general are wonderful people. The only bad thing about this country is the government. There is money in this country. The reason why you ain't got no money is because you ain't got no good relationships with people. You don't have the skill to network, to be nice, to create alliances with people that can put money in your pocket. All you do is create problems. That's why you ain't got no money.
So again, this rich African trying to tell Black Americans how to make money in America, of which he never helped to establish anything. He didn't build nothing here. He literally just got here. He told you that he got here at 25. His family has been here, for probably less than that. But like I said before, and he wanted to project and talk about, oh, like we're arrogant and this, that, and the third. You're trying to tell Black Americans how to make money in America. You're trying to inform Black Americans that there is so much money in America. Do you not, idiot? Do you not understand that we already know this? Do you not understand the history? Like this, like I said, this is how crazy y'all Africans be sounding when y'all really think that just because y'all got a little piece of paper from some white folks that you are far more educated than Black Americans, and y'all can sit up there and school them on things dealing with America and try to really inform us about some stuff as if we just really don't. Like it's so crazy. It is so crazy to see this stuff directly in 4K. And then I got somebody up here talking about that you keep talking about a third world country and don't understand how the word came about. Okay, so let me just put it in a basic term, right? Because the third world thing is right. You're poor. How about that one? Poor. China at one moment in time was the exact same way, and you saw how they did their thing. They were known as the copycats of the world, right? Because they would just get all of this stuff and then they would look at it and be like, all right, we're just going to copy what it is that's here. And then we're going to sit up there and do the exact same thing and sell it, right? But now China's like, you know what? We don't got to copy nothing no more. We're just going to start building and making, right? We're going to be the main fabricators of which everybody has to basically come to because we understand and know that everybody wants to outsource, everybody is lazy, and nobody actually wants to pay their own people, right? So they want to come directly to us because it's cheaper. No problem. We're going to help that out. And our people are going to grow and our country is going to grow directly from all of that laziness from around the world. And look at where China is now. Because again, 30 years ago, people wasn't talking about China realistically. People wasn't really talking about China. Right? But you see where it is now. So instead of me saying third world, I'm just going to say poor. And it's crazy to say that as a continent, Africa is poor due to the fact that I know of all of the rich resources and minerals that are directly there. All of the things that are right under African feet. I'm talking about y'all are literally tripping over resources when y'all walk. Like it's literally in the soil, right? You probably got so many plants over there of which that you can make medicines for different things around the world, but yet you don't own none of it. You don't own none of it. And that is my main point. Anytime, because I'm just gonna make sure to highlight because I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you. Anytime that y'all decide that y'all want to come directly over here into Black American conversations, y'all want to talk about us a certain type of way, always remember that every time you speak, you're losing out on your resources. Because that's just that much many people that's not focused on what it is that they should be focused on. Whenever it is that you speak about us, you have more people that are now perishing because of lack of clean water, lack of hospitals, medicine, proper care, housing, proper sanitation, and diseases flowing about due to defecation. Right? You got more kids dying because of lack of prenatal care and everything of the sort. Every time y'all decide to sit up there and speak and focus directly on us instead of focusing directly on your own people. I've been telling y'all for the longest time possible. Y'all want to come up here and try to educate me, try to tell me this, try to tell me that. Educate yourselves on your own problem, your own situations in your own countries, which 9 times out of 10, y'all sit up there and run directly from and go to everywhere else but home. Y'all invest everywhere else but home. How is it possible that if I happen to look up information, AI will sit up there and basically state how smart Africans are in America? But all of those smart Africans ain't doing nothing to build up home. Y'all fled, y'all left. Y'all like, that's not my problem no more. That's y'all issue. I'm living good. I'm living great. All of my family is fine. We ran and left those situations. So those situations are no longer ours. Y'all want to bicker, y'all want to argue, y'all want to say all of this type of stuff about Black Americans, but you don't got nothing to say about your African country. I'm sorry, countries, 54. You don't got nothing to say about that African continent at all. You just leave it for dead. As soon as you run away and you make it, you leave it for dead. And that's some crazy work. Like I said, y'all can't school me on nothing. Black Americans are fighting for whatever it is that we got left. We trying to keep whatever blocks, whatever land, whatever homes. We are fighting for every single thing that we got tooth and nail up until we can't sit up there and fight. We ain't running from the situation. Y'all are though. But you think that you got all of the knowledge and the information to try to teach us something. A runner can never teach anybody who is a creator. You cannot. A runner cannot teach anybody who is a fighter. You cannot. Like, that's some crazy work. Y'all can't tell me nothing. Y'all can't tell me nothing. If you want to educate me on something, educate me on how it is that you are fixing your countries at this 54 countries with people that all look just alike. How are you, the Africans that want to speak and pull up to this live stream? How are you fixing those countries? What are you doing? Tell me the step-by-step process. Because if you ask Black Americans, how are Black Americans trying to fix the Black community and this, we can sit up there and lay out a blueprint. We can lay out the plans. We can show you the things that are in action at this moment in time. When I look at y'all, I don't see nothing. I see y'all continuously running. Again, like I said before in previous live streams, y'all want to run to the UK. Y'all want to run to South America. Y'all want to sit up there and run to Europe. Y'all want to run to Australia. You want to run to anywhere in Asia. You want to run to China. You want to run to Russia. Scandinavia, you want to run everywhere else to escape your problems because you think it's going to make it better. And you think that you're going to be better because of it. And then you want to stand in everybody else's country and you want to raise your flag and you want to talk about how proud you are as a people, as a group of your culture. But yet when I see you dress as an African, you're not dressing as an African. You're dressing, cosplaying and masquerading and talking like a Black American. So how proud are you really of yourself? It seems like a lot of Africans suffer from a thing of trying to destiny swap. They suffer from actually, a form of or a type of hatred. Because I would never go to an African country and then decide that I'm automatically going to start speaking African. That's just going to be my dialect. I'm going to start taking your slang and your words. I'm automatically 100% everything in my closet is nothing but African gear. No, I'm not doing that. What I look like. I'm Black American from the beginning, the middle, and the end. Now, if I put on something just to sit up there and celebrate, that's cool. That's not about to be my full wardrobe, though. I'm not about to be wearing your shoes. I'm not about to be wearing your pants. I'm not about to be wearing your shirts. I'm not about to be wearing your hats. I'm not about to be rolling through blasting music of yours. I'm blasting my own. I'm blasting from my culture, from my soul, every fiber of my being. I'm blasting from the source, from my history, from my lineage. That's what I'm going to sit up there and do. Like I said, that is the difference between Black Americans and Africans. I'm not afraid to be me no matter where it is. I don't care if I stick out like a sore thumb. I can go over to Russia right now and I'm going to still dress as a Black American. I'm not going to try to masquerade as or try to, be somebody that I'm not. I'm going to be me all day long. And I'm still going to talk the exact same way. No matter where it is that I go. While you guys, like this African here, wanted to sit up there and say that, oh, Black Americans, you can't make any money because, you cause problems everywhere you go. You don't know how to formulate bonds with people that will spend money directly with you. Again, this is coming from an African who grew up rich. What can you tell me, rich African? You can't tell me nothing. You don't know nothing about poverty. You don't know nothing about growing up middle class. You don't know nothing about growing up in the hood. Going to your local school. Like, dog, you don't know nothing about nothing over here. Like I said, y'all can't teach us nothing over here. That's like me going over into your house in Africa trying to tell you about your land, this, that, and the third. And that's like me trying to, what I look like? You should already know. Huh? You're the source on that land. How can I sit up there and educate the source on anything? You should be the one to educate me about your home. I can't tell you nothing. But here y'all go. directly online with all of this bravado, with all this quote unquote showmanship, and doing this, that, and the third. And you know that, like I said, dog, like y'all just don't learn. Y'all just do not learn. Y'all just don't learn. Y'all will do everything else but fix home. Y'all will do everything else but fix home. And it's and y'all always want to pull up to the scene on these social medias, and y'all want to say that, oh, why are you like the woman that came to me before, like, oh, you're xenophobic and this hatred for Africans and this, that. What hatred? Because we're responding back. Because we're now like, hey, we're going to sit up there and have a debate. We're not going to come at y'all with some type of facts. We're now going to sit up there and show you the difference between Black Americans and Africans. It's the same thing that y'all been doing for decades. Y'all been sitting up there saying on platforms and everywhere else, especially y'all closed spaces and everywhere, like, oh, we are not Black Americans. We are not black. We are not black. I am Nigerian. I am Kenyan. I am Etrian. I am Ethiopian. Like y'all make sure to sit up there and tell Black Americans and everybody else who it is that y'all are. Y'all would make sure. I done seen too many times where an African was called black or a black man in the way that their face is scrunched up in offense to even being referenced in the same realm or area. And then they wanted to start speaking with their actual voice and tone and having pride about themselves. Like, we have a culture. We have this, we have that. And bro, come on now. That's some crazy work. Well, like I said, that's what y'all like to sit up there and do. Oh, wait, somebody said, wait, what's gross? You said in Italy they treat the Africans horrible, but let's not talk about the area that they live in Paris. Oh yeah, I heard about Paris. I heard about Paris and how it be over there. It's yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. The smell over there is crazy. No, that's what I sat up there and asked them yesterday when I had some Africans pop up to the scene and they wanted to, oh, you're racist, you're this and that. I'm like, so what am I afraid of? Because the main part of the word phobia, the main part, you got phobia and then you got any other word you want to attach to it. I can say black male phobia, right? I can say black woman phobia, right? I can say Black American phobia, right? But what is the main word? That means fear of or just fear. Right. And this is why I sat up there and stated to me before, like, I can't list you a point in time that anybody of my bloodline has ever been fearful of any African. Never. Right. But it's whatever. They wonder why it is that we keep saying the things and we keep having these responses day in and day out. Sat12 said, Seji, I'm seeing Kenyan and Nigerian channels talk about American race politics. They pump out content. It's a business model, but some of them seem to live in the UK as well. And oh no, I know. I've covered them before. I've showcased some of that nonsense before. And I'm like, dog, don't y'all got race relation politics up there in the UK? Like I've covered videos literally of an African immigrant getting chased by drunken UK men directly over there into like a one-way type of like alley. Like they were throwing bottles and all this other type of stuff, sitting up there just like hammering down on this man. I had that video at a moment in time, had that stuff posted. Do you think that Africans had anything to say about that? Nah. When I happen to highlight and show off videos dealing with Africa, these Africans that like to pull up to these live streams, they never had anything to say for the standalone content. And like I said, these are the geniuses of the world, right? These are the sources. These are the originators. These are the creators. These are the most knowledgeable bunch directly out there, the most educated bunch, right? But the only time that they happen to show up and speak out is when it's on live streams. But when it deals with standard content of which you can slowly digest and take your time on, nah, they don't got nothing. And I specifically went over stories where it dealt with European men going directly over to African countries and having unprotected relations with African women and giving them or potentially giving them transmissible diseases. some of which cannot be cured. Do you think that any of these Africans sitting in the background on my channel got anything to say about that? No, they don't. Do you think that they're going to say anything harshly about the European man? No, they're not. Do you think they're going to say anything harshly about the Caucasian man from America that travels to Africa and does the exact same thing? No, they're not. Do you think that they're going to say anything about the sex tourism that is happening by way of those sources that I just listed? No, they are not. But they will make sure to be up bright, shining, and early to any Black American platform so that they can speak their piece. How can you inform and try to save a group of people that you say continuously are not of you when you can't even save yourself? When all you do is simply run from your situations and your problems, but you think that you can stand tall and high and mighty and you're not faltering anywhere. You are literally on an earthquake. None of your land is stable. So where you're getting this energy to think that you could specifically speak about Black Americans as Africans, again, makes no sense. It shows a lot of projection. It shows a lot of insecurity. It shows a lot of envy. It shows a lot of jealousy. It shows a lot of hatred. It shows a lot of fear. Because we are continuously doing something in America of which you have really, up until recent times, have just started doing in Africa. We've always been outspoken. We've always stood out. No matter how we got treated, no matter how we got brutalized, no matter how many bodies were on the floor, no matter how many of our families, how many of our community members were lost, we stood up, we stood tall, and stood strong, no matter how many few of us were left. Y'all got billions upon billions directly over there, and y'all still ain't standing tall like us. And we're a minority out of this whole planet. Make that make sense. That's crazy. But anyways, let's continue.
Won't say it, I'll say it. As a Black man, I put my face on it and I stand on it. All you cultures out there, all the different cultures out there, I am absolutely jealous of y'all. Yes, it's true. I am jealous of y'all. I love how y'all can come together and uplift one another.
Listen to this clownery.
I love how y'all can come together and support one another. I love how y'all can come together and nothing happens. No shootouts, no nothing. I love how y'all can come together and put each other on a pedestal. I love that. Not us. Oh, no, not us. We can't do that. I envy that about y'all, man. I wish the Black community could do that. I wish the Black community would stop hurting each other. I wish the Black community would stop pulling each other down. I wish the Black community would stand with one another and stop breaking each other down. I wish this could happen.
So I don't know who this dude is. I don't know where he came from, but this is the exact same thing that I basically showed off to y'all before when I was telling y'all about the other guy, the bald-headed dude that was 40, where he wanted to state that he's a Black American and he wanted to have all of these talking points, but then he didn't even get married to or date a woman that was like him or of his exact same community, right? And he wanted to generalize about Black men just having kids everywhere and all of these baby mamas and all this exaggerated type of stuff, right? This is pretty much directly in that same vein, but he's feeding this directly to Africans. Because what people don't realize is that a lot of people like this can see that, okay, there's a divide. Let me see where it is that I can make money. And he's like, okay, well, since, you know, Black Americans and Africans are having this type of divide, let me be the one content creator to go directly over here and say all of these positive things directly to the Africans while also trying to down talk and drag my own people, supposedly. Because like I said, I don't know exactly who this dude specifically is. Because everything, so I would have to question him. So I'm like, so who did you grow up around? Are you saying that every time that there was a birthday party, when it dealt with your family, everybody was just shot up? Somebody was just stabbed, somebody got killed? Are you telling me that every single time that there was a baby shower, immediately there had to be a funeral? You telling me that every single time you had a barbecue, there was always a shootout, always a fight, somebody was always not like, what are we saying? Like with the mass generalizations, what specifically, like I understand when some people make generalizations for certain reasons, but when people do stuff like this is not a certain reason. This is specifically to drag one group of people down for clear cut no reason. He could clearly talk about the specific groups of black folks that are doing this. He could easily do that, right? And sit up there and try to give all the praise in the world that he wants to give to Africans. But he couldn't just do that. He wanted to make sure to drag everybody directly down. I wish black people could do. I wish black people. I wish black people could. Africans, y'all so good at this. Y'all so good at that. Y'all so good at this. Y'all so good at that. Okay. If you love Africa that much, just say that. You don't have to say nothing about black Americans. And this is when I have to start questioning a lot of stuff when I happen to hear people talk. Because whenever I happen to have when I gotta listen to content where people gotta try to, all right, I'm gonna lift this as a positive, but in order for me to like pedestalize this, I gotta have something as a stable platform. Again, black Americans are being used as a lift point in order to prop up other people, regardless on if we want to or not. And you mean to tell me so that black people in the United States don't come together? Like, so out of all of the marches, all of the protests, everything that's been we've never come together. We just don't see eye to eye on nothing. You mean it's like I literally have a video right now, and this is in Chicago. I got a video of older gang members putting everything to the side to basically have a truce so that the younger generation can see that all of this stuff that they doing right now in the streets ain't worth it. Do you think that any of these Africans or this idiot right here wants to bring that up or talk about that type of unity that black men are sitting up there doing right now? Nah, they ain't gonna sit up here and do that. You think that this idiot is going to highlight the fact that you got a lot of black men that are on social media that are now deciding that, okay, let me put out the positive narrative when it deals with black men, when it deals with black American fathers? Do you think that he's going to highlight that and talk about that? No, because it's not going to fit his narrative. It's not going to fit his skewed version of reality. He's not going to be able to sell that to people. Like I said, the only way that a lot of people can just so happen to make money is if they talk about black Americans in a negative light. Case in point. Let's continue.
I pray for this. I'm 40 years old, and I know I only got a good 50 to 60 more years on this earth, and I doubt I will be able to see it before God calls me home. I hope to God I can see it one day. That a black man will see another black man and just say good morning just off GP. Good afternoon, how are you doing, my brother? How are you doing, my sister? Stop demoralizing our women, calling them bitches. I wish that would happen. That shit ain't gonna happen. I know it ain't gonna happen.
So this is the type of clownery that I like to talk about. He said he's 40 years old, right? So for 40 years, what have you been doing in the black community? I could sit up there and say that since the time that I was alive, that whenever I walked through my neighborhood or the areas that I was in Detroit, if I happen to just like seen a black man walking through, like, hey, give a head nod, yo, what's up? Hey, good morning, good afternoon, how you doing? Dog, what like I said, what I don't know what universe this man, and I'm talking about from Detroit. I don't know what universe this man is growing up in. I just don't know. There's been tons of times I done seen older black women walking through the streets. Hello, ma'am, how you doing? Good morning. Do you need any help with anything? And helping women get directly on a bus. It don't matter if it's elderly women, women who are pregnant, women with kids. Like, dog, what are you like? This is the type of this is what I be talking about, man. Like, it's just, for me, it's just like, it's too many bums out here. It's just too many social media bums out here that want to try to paint black people, I'm sorry, more specifically, black American men, in the worst light possible. But within that, he's not throwing himself directly like in that whole thing. Nor out of his whole rant did he state, as a 40-year-old man, what he contributed to society, or within the little frame of society or the bubble that he's in, to his community. He ain't list nothing. Nor did he sit up there and tell you like what he's going to do as a 40-year-old to help contribute to what it is that he want to see. He's a talker. He is not about no type of action. Like I said, that's the problem. Notice how he said, like, I hope, I hope, I hope. Hope is a fool's errand. The only way, in a sure way, that something is going to happen is if you take action. This man is not about action. He's not about action. That's as far as I'm going to sit up there and judge him. I can sit up there and try to take it a little bit deeper, going off of statistics and things of that nature. And him being 40 and him having this take directly out here, which seems vastly ignorant, but I'll just leave it directly at the fact that he is not about no type of action of trying to make a reality of what it is, of what he wishes, or what it is that he is talking and preaching about in that video. He ain't about that life. Like I said, I made sure to sit up there and speak. That's how I was raised. You speak to your elders. You say good morning. You know, things of that nature. You hold open doors. You help out people that are older than you. You give up your seat and different things. Like I said, I don't know where he grew up. Obviously, he didn't have no home training. That's the best I can do, because he didn't listen nothing about himself. He didn't say nothing. And like I said, you're 40. I want to know if you happen to have kids. I want to know, what are your interactions specifically with black women? I want to know, how many fights have you gotten into with young black men or men your age? Like I said, I got questions. I got a lot of questions, because I need to understand, what have you contributed in one way or another to society, or again, to receive or be able to see what it is that you're talking about. I'm just trying to figure out, what positive things have you done? Like I said, that's some crazy work. And this is, again, like, people like this are, again, one of the main reasons why I've made sure, whenever I happen to speak about black fathers, I speak highly. I can sit up there, I can point out the good, the bad, and the ugly. I can point out all of those things. But I also make sure to speak very highly of black fathers, because unlike the rest of the fathers out here, which get their flowers, their love, and their debt, black fathers don't receive that. Black fathers do not receive that at all. Black fathers receive the very little shine. They receive very little value when you look on these social media streets, or even when you look just in general. You can look at social media, you can look at articles, you can look at music videos, you can look at movies, you can look at magazines, you can look at the talk shows that have happened for over the last 30 to 40 years, and look at how black fathers are deemed and looked at, and it's no value at all. Even though they do exist, you have black fathers that are consistent and persistent. You have black fathers that contribute a variety of ways to the community in a positive way. Like I said, it's crazy. It's 100% crazy. But it'd be like that, though. It'd be like that. But anyways, let's continue.
Americans are too nice. Black Americans are too nice. Black Americans are too blood clot nice, bro. We don't understand this. Why I just saw a whole video of a UK person in the idea that Africans hate black Americans because they're lazy. You know, as an individual who love history, love watching history, one of the only reasons why most of you guys are in this country is because of the things that were done by black Americans. And the thing about that is, a lot of people don't understand that type of talk, because someone is just too young, too old to want to understand anything. They can't come into another country and not want to follow these rules. Don't make any sense to me. And the reason why it don't make any sense to me is because you guys are the same individuals who don't want these people in your country and them acting like an idiot and not want to learn your religious values or your cultural values. It doesn't make any sense to me till this day.
He's right. That young man is right. And like I said, you can clearly hear that young man is obviously Jamaican or whatnot. And he can clearly see the disrespect. He clearly knows and understands what Black Americans are specifically going directly through. He's young. He's probably like some early 20s. And I 100% agree. And I've said it before that we as a group are way too nice. We let a lot of stuff slide that we normally wouldn't even let slide with our own families, with our own friends. We'll allow these complete strangers to come directly in, say whatever it is that they want to sit up there and say, and we'll just like let it sit there for like, decades upon decade upon decade upon decade, after disrespect after disrespect after disrespect, belittling after belittling after belittling, using negative stereotype after negative stereotype after, like we will let all of that stuff just basically slide. Because we're like, yo, we understand. It's like, yo, America told you this one vision, so you don't really know, in a sense, any better and all this other. But no, they do know better. Because those are the exact same people that will sit up there and tell us that they are smarter than us, that they hold the most degrees, that they are more educated than Black Americans. How is it possible that Africans can come here and in 5 years we're making 6 figures? How is that possible, Black Americans? Why can't you do the same things? Right? These are those exact same people. So, like I said before, just like this young man said, Black Americans are too nice. We have to stop allowing all of these passes to all of these other groups of people who stay fixated and focused directly on us, who always want to have these open opinions, who always want to have these podcasts, which they don't do any call-ins to have Black Americans there. They could easily have us there. And as a matter of fact, they could have some of our best and our brightest directly on their platforms. They really not trying to do that. Like I said, you've seen what happened in a lot of debates. Whenever it is that we happen to have Black Americans speaking directly on our behalf as representatives, they school a lot of people. They shut a lot of people down. People don't have rebuttals because they don't have, as some people like to say, they don't got the facilities to host or even have the conversation. But yet this is what they like to sit up there and do, especially over there in the UK. I don't know what it is with like the folks over there in the UK having conversations about American politics. Like, I don't know nothing about really UK politics. Like, y'all just had to, like, y'all queen, like, y'all had to. So I'm like, that's the most that I know. Elizabeth and Charles and like the two boys, and I only know the two boys because of Diana. That's it. Like, Diana, she was like all over the place. I would say probably out of everything dealing with the UK, Princess Diana was probably the only person in the UK that America actually liked. Everybody else we didn't care about. Everybody else we didn't care about. But and let me show you like a Black American effect, right? The craziest part is Princess Diana loved Michael Jackson. I'm sorry, let me rewrite that. My bad. Princess Diana, I mean, well, you can go back and look at the video, but Princess Diana loved Michael Jackson music. And I think when it was that Michael Jackson went to the UK to go play, she specifically requested him to sing Dirty Diana. And he said no, he wasn't going to do that, right? Because maybe he felt it was disrespectful or whatnot or whatever. But Princess Diana, wanted Michael Jackson to sing Dirty Diana. Let that sink. Just let that sink in. And like I said, if you don't believe me, go back and look at the conversation where Princess Diana and Michael Jackson were standing and look at how Princess Diana was looking at Michael Jackson. Look at her body language. Look at her face. Look at her hands. It tells a whole story by itself. It tells you who she's attracted to and who she's not attracted to. She's attracted to Michael Jackson. She ain't attracted to her husband. But like I said, it'd be like that. It'd be like that, though. I can't give you a point in time where it's like, in a sense, the reverse, where you just got some type of Black American royalty or whatnot, whatever, that's just completely gushing over the UK. I just, and I'm talking about of the same popularity of Michael. Like I said, Michael Jackson is one of one. Right. So I mean, of that exact stature and popular, I can't really give you nobody. Can't really give you nobody. No, nobody's really gushing over nobody. Nobody's gushing over Meghan Markle or what. Like, nah, it's not. It's not. Like I said, it's cool. Whatnot, whatever. She's at the height that she's at. I only knew her from being an actress, but obviously she was some type of royalty or whatnot, whatever. Who knew? I could have sworn. What was the show that she was on? Wasn't it like Suits or something like that? But irregardless, whatever. It is. Mahoko was like, Diane, come on. D-Money was like, Princess Diana was a freak. She probably was. She wanted that song, though, let me tell you. Andrea Woodson said Charles asked him not to. Man, that sounds like a hater. I mean, that song ain't about her, right? Right. I'm listening to the lyrics. I'm like, that's not Princess Diana. That's talking about another type of woman. But hey, it be like that though. Yeah, that's another thing too. For the Africans out there, when y'all say that y'all like the creators and stuff, when was the last time that y'all produced anything like Michael Jackson? And even your people love Michael Jackson more than your own artist. What artist do you have in comparison that is on the exact same level as Michael Jackson that came directly out of Africa? I wait because I can't give you nothing for the life of me. For the life of me, I cannot give, not even an artist of right now. I can't even give you nobody that was on the level and the platform of Michael Jackson. Like Michael Jackson literally had to have EMS trucks outside of his concert just in lines because people are going to pass out. Like this was just, and that was just one man. This wasn't a group. This was one man making people pass out all over the world. You had people passing out at home. Like I said, Africa, like y'all say that y'all produce, y'all the creators and originators. Like when have y'all produced a Michael Jackson? When has that ever happened? How many of your African artists have just made black people, black Americans just like pass out? I'm just like I haven't seen it. Like I'm looking around, beans, greens, tomatoes. Yeah, I'm looking around and I don't see it. I don't see it. Some crazy. It's crazy work though. Crazy work. Wait, did somebody list Akon? Who? Who said a who is that? Who did that? Hold on. I know somebody didn't just list Akon. Brother, what? Are we talking about the Akon that came up with like locked out? They won't let me out. Are we talking about the same Akon that was rapping, coming over here, rapping as a black American, talking as a black American, dressing as a black American, hanging around with black Americans, got a lineup like black Americans, wearing a chain and dressing like black Americans? Are we talking about the same Akon that was supposed to have like the Akon city where China, whoever basically invested? We talking about that Akon? Huh? That's crazy. That's crazy. That man hiding a lot of money and he's hiding a city that never existed. That city is more hidden than Atlantis at this moment in time. That shit is more hidden than Wakanda. What are we talking about? Who listed Akon? Who did that? Who did that? Andrea Woodson said Akon. Man, that's bars. Because he conned a lot of people. African scammers. Let me tell you something. That's some crazy work. Shout out to Nigeria. King of scammers. Y'all got that. Y'all got that though. Oh, okay. D Money did it. Okay, okay. Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. Wait. Somebody said, "Who? Wait, you said Xavier? Wait, who is Xavier? Wait. Who's he?" This man said he's a legend. LOL. That's crazy. That is a legendary thief. That's the real person that stole and hid One Piece. It wasn't Gold D. Roger. It was Akon. Because you're never going to find that city, nor will you ever see that money. Like, matter of fact, where is all of that money that Akon? Like, I hate to segue into this and to technically bring up other people's names, but all the times I've heard Africans, right? They always want to talk about Black Americans, right? And I'm just going to segue in. A lot of times they'll be like, "Yo, Black Americans, where did this, and that money type of go? Where's all of this investment?" I ain't never heard no Africans get on social media and question Akon. Shouldn't y'all be wondering where that money went? Like y'all looking kind of starvish over there, right? You're kind of impoverished, over there. I gotta stop saying third world because obviously, some people got mad at that, terminology. It'd be like that though. So I gotta just use poor. Third world I felt was like just basically nice, but it's cool though. No problem. You cool. D Money says stop dry snitching. Yo, that's crazy. Gail said, nah, Seji, not Nigeria, Senegal has to hold that L. I mean, any which way it goes, it's still over there in Africa. Like I said, I'm generalizing the same way that everybody else likes to generalize. Like I said, return directly to sender. You're going to get the exact same energy, if not more. You're going to get that Majin, that Kid Buu spirit bomb. That's exactly what's going to sit up there and happen. I'll see you in the next life. That's how we do stuff. We're not doing stuff light. We are not doing that. We are not doing stuff light. Let me tell you. Hold on. Where that picture at? Let me see that. Where that picture at? Right? All right. We do not do stuff light directly over here. You are going to get that Kid Buu special. I'm about to put this picture together so people can understand the reference point, because I understand a lot of people are not into anime. Let me see if they can actually give me the larger picture directly of that. It's almost there. It's a little bit close. It's getting there. It's a little bit close. You know what? I'll just put the two Majin Buu pics together. We'll just do that. Call it a day. But yeah, like I said, we're not doing that. We're going directly back to sender. We are not going to sit up there and do what it is that you think we should do. Nor are we going to do stuff in a nice type of way, like everybody keeps telling us, like, oh, Black Americans, turn the other cheek. Don't be like everybody else. You don't have to sit up there and respond. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. Well, make sure you go to tell everybody else they don't got to do it. Right? Make sure you go tell everybody else to be respectful of Black Americans, so that we can stop having these conversations and focus directly on other things. That's all you got to sit up there and do, but nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to always come directly through and try to tell Black Americans, like, hey, you guys are being too mean. You guys are doing this. You guys are doing that. I'm like, yeah, you guys are smoking rocks, because we don't got to relax on nothing. The same energy that we give to y'all, the same energy we give directly to white people. Anybody that enters into our section uninvited, anybody that wants to say anything, any type of way, or move a little bit strange, we're shaking down everybody. You're going to sit up there and learn a lesson, and it's going to be a heavy one at that moment in time. Like I said, you're going to be getting that spirit bomb special. I will tell you that you will be sitting up there getting that. I don't got no time. Shout out to all my my anime fans directly out there. Some of y'all who know Dragon Ball Z, know about that Kid Buu special that was around during that timeline. When it first dropped, came directly out. It took a minute for me to actually get that picture together. Let me tell you, because I like to have things specific. But this is pretty much what that looks like. This is what this is the energy and how it's going to sit up there and get returned. Like I said, if people can't respect it, you're going to be destroyed by positive energy. That's the best way I can sit up there. That's the best picture that I can sit up there and give you. If you know, you know. If you was around during that time, if you saw that episode, it'd be like that, right? And he gathered energy from all across the universe in order to do this. So, like I said, people gonna be feeling that hurt. But anyways, let's go to the next video. Wait, is this the next one? Let me see. Okay, gotcha.
When I was in Africa, I had to school an African guy about black people not having a culture. It's gonna be 3 parts. And I'm not coming for nobody. I'm not dogging nobody out, but it's important to get the truth out there from somebody who's seen both sides of the coin. So one day it's something like a mall. There's a lot of people walking back and forth, right? So I see a store and I go inside. I'll speak to the guy, he speaks back, a Nigerian guy. He said, "Oh, you from America?" "Yeah." "I love America." "Okay, cool." He said, "Matter of fact, Tupac is my favorite artist of all time." I said, "You mean like your favorite rapper?" "No, my favorite singer, musician of all time." I said, "Okay." These are the Tuskegee Airmen, by the way. So he starts giving me all of these facts and background history about Tupac, right? Telling me all kind of stuff about Tupac. I said, okay, a lot of that stuff is kind of, not 100% accurate, but okay, cool, you got it. And he starts naming off all of these other things: Mike Tyson, Denzel, Whitney Houston, stuff that I had forgot about, right? I had forgot about most of the stuff he was talking about, but he remembered. He knew everything play for play. This is Madam C.J. Walker. Then we get like 10, 15 minutes into the conversation. He comes with because y'all ain't got no culture. Here we go. I said, "Didn't you just get done telling me about everything America, from Tupac to Whitney Houston to Mike Tyson and everything in between?" "Yeah, but that don't really count. Y'all ain't got no culture." I said, "Okay, let's do an experiment." So we was kind of standing by the door, and I'm noticing what I see walk past, right? I said, let's do an experiment. Everything I see that's black American, I'm going to point out. Everything that you see that's traditional African, you point out. I said, let's go. First person walked past, Nikes. Second person walked past, do-rag. Third person walked past, it was a girl with the weave, with the swoop. Next person walked past, had a hoodie on. Next person walked past, had another Nike, Reebok. You know what I mean? Just all of these different brands and styles that come from black America. Like a good 25, 30 people walked past, and I'm pointing every single one of them out. Finally, this lady walked past with some traditional African gear on. This is Frankie Knuckles. He's the one that started house music, where I'm a piano and Afro beats come from. Finally, this lady walked past that had on some traditional African gear. I said, you see how long it took for you to recognize some traditional African wear? And it took me less than 2 seconds to see somebody with some traditional black American clothes on? He said, yeah, I guess I kind of see what you're saying. I said, that's our culture. That's our culture. He couldn't say nothing. Part 2 coming up of why they think black Americans don't have a culture.
So, right, we heard that video, right? And that dude said he went over there to Africa. Like I said, it don't matter where it is that black Americans go. There's a type of disdain. There's this type of energy that is there, and it gets exposed when you start having conversations with a lot of these Africans. Like I said, it's just like if you want to do a racism, just either give somebody some liquor or just give it enough time, allow it enough runway, and it's going to show itself. When it deals with Africans and how they specifically feel about black Americans, it's always going to show itself one way or another. But again, people want to act as though that these things don't exist. as if it's not a real thing. But even African children and many others are coming directly out stating that, yeah, their parents taught them this, that, and the third when they dealt with Black Americans and yada, yada, yada. But yet again, Africans want to pull up to the scene and they want to say something else. They want to sit up there and move the goalpost, right? Obviously, because I just it just passed by me. Sham just obviously put somebody in the shadow realm, which was this person here that said that you're joking, right? Nice, LOL. You are a lot of things, but nice isn't one of them. Like I said, I like for people to be specific. And a lot of the times when people are talking, they're specifically talking about me, because a lot of people don't like when it is and I talk and when it, when I happen to mention certain things and all this other type of stuff. This is why I tell people, like, yo, if you're not trying to generalize, just sit up there and say at SEIJI, and we can just clearly have that conversation. Just sit up there and don't generalize, because then the moment in time you generalize, what inevitably is going to happen is that one of my moderators is going to sit up there and ban you, like so. Nobody can hear you in space. You've activated my trap card. Like it's over for you. Like I don't know what else to sit up there and tell you. Vio con Dios. Shout out to King of the Hill. It'd be like that though. But like this man said, in a lot of instances over in Africa, like I told y'all in a previous video, or even just like do I got the picture still up there? No, I don't got the picture up there. But just like I showed y'all earlier of the young African guy that wanted to speak on Black Americans, he's over there in Africa. But dress-wise, he don't look African. He's dressing as a Black American male. Like I said, that make sense. You're in Africa, in an African home, going to African schools. You speak African, your culture, heritage, traditions, but you're dressing as a Black American. You're mimicking Black American style and speech, verbiage, whatever it is that you want to sit up there and call it. Like, it don't make no sense. Like I said, y'all don't make sense. Y'all don't make sense. But, it'd be like that, though. It'd be like that. Let's continue.
Video of the elder African lady talking about we need to listen to Black Americans and all this other type of stuff. And all I'm going to say is this. Elders, women, and children. This is how you can manipulate a group of people. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody sits back and wonder how for over 70 years, how could our people have been so blind and bamboozled? You feel what I'm saying? By people playing nicey nice that you can see hate you. Elders, women, and children. It's no coincidence that, and I watched the video in its entirety, that she's sitting there now wanting to admit the amount of hate that they feel, the amount of hate that's in their culture and in them communities, want to sit there and admit that. And then even when her admitting to this, say, and I even know many Black Americans say they don't have no culture and I have to teach them. Bitch, when have y'all ever heard a Black American say we have no culture? You feel what I'm saying? You cannot be, you cannot let age allow you to be manipulated, no matter who it is. It's no coincidence. It's no coincidence that the same people that called us pretendians and saying that we do not know who we are the same ones fighting the government, talking about we need the Black natives recognized and all this other type of stuff. It's not a coincidence that the same people who said that we were lying about the hate that they spew, about the fact that they get these loans on behalf of us and our identity. You feel what I'm saying? They get these loans, open up these businesses, buy these homes in our neighborhoods. They don't employ us. They don't sell us or nothing, which eventually makes us pushed out because they hire their people and all this, that, and the third. The same people that denied this are the same people wanting to admit it in a time of convenience. You feel what I'm saying? You can't let nobody manipulate you, old or young. It's not a coincidence that this comes a week after African braiding salons being raided. It's not a coincidence that this comes a month after a failed Essence Fest, after an African Caribbean takeover. It's not a coincidence that the same people, when we said last year that we were going to boycott these businesses, said, so what? You guys think so what? So what? You guys don't have no power in your country, so what? The same people, when we said, if you hate us and our country so bad, don't come here, leave, said you have no power in your country. The same people, when we talked about when they switched it over from Joe Biden to Kamala out this clear blue sky, and we talked about the hundreds of Black American boys that she was locking up, and this is that and the third, the same people that made hundreds and hundreds of videos saying that our boys and our men did not deserve their lives. These are the same people. You feel what I'm saying? These people do not live in a different world than us. Y'all cannot allow people to manipulate you like this as if they live a different reality, as if they don't see these same videos, the same way they see the media outlets about their people, the same way they see the media outlets about our people. It's the same media. You feel what I'm saying? You think that African elder lady sat there and she only saw African braided salons getting raided? No, ma'am. She saw what led up to it. You understand? And as they continuously, as we continuously said, mind your business, get out of our mouth. We don't want to talk. We don't want to play with nobody right now. We don't. We just want to mind our own business. We don't want to play with nobody right now. As everybody has told us aggressively that they do not respect this, that they will not mind their business, this is that and the third. Now they're going to try to nicey nice their way into our business. No, we need to listen to them. What part of we don't want y'all to listen to us at all, period. Why aren't y'all listening to yourselves? Why aren't y'all having conversations amongst yourselves? Why are y'all attempting to listen to the same people that y'all call slaves and said that they have no power? And y'all are continuously acting bamboozled on why we will not play along with this new narrative that y'all want to push. We were the recipients of the hate. Y'all can't be this slow to think that we will now play the new status quo with you. Y'all have tried to immigrant us in our own country. And for once in your lives, your parents' lives, and including your grandparents. Because just like she said, she done been here. This elder African lady said that she done been here for umpteen thousand years. However age when she got here, she was young. And she never thought that she would see a day where Black Americans actually regained their power. So now she's trying to save the little ones that destroyed it all. Y'all are a day late and $1 short. When we said that we don't want to talk, we don't want nobody in our business, we meant that. We meant it when y'all said that y'all didn't care aggressively. And we mean it now that y'all playing nicey nice.
I want to say, because I had to look directly in the background, I want to say shout out to whoever gave $5 to the channel. Who was that? Hold on, let me see. Maxine G. I just recently saw that. My apologies. Much love, respect, and appreciation for the $5 dono directly to the channel. For whatever reason, it did not specifically show up, or maybe the chat was just moving so quick at this moment in time. Again, my apologies. Shout out to Maxine G for the $5 dono to the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. So again, when we look at the fact of everything that this Black American woman stated, it's 100% facts. For, again, far too long, we have been facing immense disrespect from all of these other groups and these peoples directly out here when it deals with people going to and from country to country, running, fleeing, trying to claim refugee status and all this other type of stuff, and rah, 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 blah, blah, blah. And the moment in time that we try to just tell people just nicely, like, hey, just back away, this conversation ain't about you, it ain't really for you. We can have a conversation with y'all later. They want to interject. Now they want to, start bulldozing their way into conversations, and they want to try to change the trajectory, or they want to try to inject themselves into a conversation and to try to formulate some type of narrative that is going to wrap around them. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. So now we have to meet disrespect with disrespect, or however it is that y'all want to sit up there and view it, however it is that y'all want to sit up there and take it. But like I said, it's crazy to me that Africans and many others can be the utmost disrespectful to Black Americans and then not acknowledge how disrespectful they've been to us from the very beginning. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, I could swear that it was Black Americans that have been showing love and support and trying to give value and everything of that nature when it deals with Africa. It was us, trying to, in a sense, uplift them from where it is that we were, because we understand America and the perception and how it is that they want to sell a certain type of story about a group of people. It wasn't the other way around. It wasn't Africans trying to sit up there and band together and do this and do that for Black America. No. Like I said, it's always been a one-way street, and it still is a one-way street. And no matter what we've shown in actions when it dealt with either protests, trying to use our voice, trying to make videos, trying to highlight their politics and how it is that they've been getting done wrong and all this other, no matter what it is that we do by way of action, visually, audibly, it don't matter. They do not care. That is what is being dictated. That is what is being said or not said, reading in between the lines. And like I said before, Black Americans are tired of the disrespect. We're tired. And now people got to deal with the consequences. So, like I said before, I just want to make this very clear, just in case anybody's confused. The same energy that Black Americans are displaying to all these other groups out here has been the exact same energy from the get-go that we have displayed to white America, to white Americans. I just want y'all to understand that, because for whatever reason, when it deals with Africans and many other people out there, y'all get online and y'all want to make it seem as though that we're so quick to come after y'all, but we don't want to have the same energy with America. We've always had this energy. The problem is y'all ain't never have this type of energy, this type of ferocity, this type of movement when it dealt with your own countries, your own governments, the people who have enslaved you. That's the problem. Like I said, that's some crazy work. But anyways, we're going to go to the next video.
Hate against Africans isn't about the disrespect. It's about Africans doing better than Black Americans. It's jealousy wrapped in disguise as disrespect. For long, Black Americans have blah, 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 blah. Whenever you get a chance, if you want to read that full comment, it's very interesting. This person has to be joking. There's no possible way that he's serious. But I think that there are people who probably do share this sentiment, who probably actually think this. I think this person is joking. In what dimension are Africans doing better than Black Americans? Because I might be living in a different dimension. Like I know we live in an interdimensional world. So I'm thinking that the one that I'm living in is different from the one that you're living in, because I haven't seen that. Like I have not seen anywhere where Africans were doing better than Black Americans on any level. Whether if it's here in the United States or on the continent of Africa. I haven't seen anybody over there that's doing better. I mean, there might be like a small minority of wealthy people over there that are doing pretty good. But the vast majority, I have not seen that. So anyway, I'm just going to leave it there. I could go in, I could go off on you, and I could hurt feelings. But you know what? I don't want innocent people to catch strays. So have a good day, sir.
She was like, I could go in, but I don't want innocent people to catch straight. I mean, it'd be like that. Collateral damage. It'd be like that. Like I said, do you really think that Africans care whenever it is that they speak about Black Americans in general, if they're going to hurt feelings or how it is that it is going to directly come across? No, they don't. They don't care about none of that. That's not even on their radar. That's not on their itinerary. That's not on their plate. They do not care at all, because they feel like this just genuinely, like that's just them. Like I said, if people would just be honest about how it is that they feel, I would actually, like I said, I respect honesty more. I 100% respect honesty more than anything else, because you are living the truth in who it is that you are. So if you hate me, you don't like me, whatever it is, like, yo, let that be known. No problem. Cool. You be on your side, I'll be on my side. You mind your business, I mind my business. We don't got to associate. We don't got to come in contact with. We don't got to walk past. We don't got to have eye to eye. We don't even got to be in the same stores. We good. But it becomes a problem when quote unquote people don't like you, but then they want to be in the same spaces. But then they want to fight and argue and try to start a conversation directly with you. But I'm like, I thought you said you didn't like us. I thought you didn't want to be around us. I thought we were nothing and you were everything. So it's like, it's a little bit weird to me, right? That you would fight or seek to try to gain or get some type of attention from a group of people that you said are basically worthless and don't add nothing to nothing, right? Because all they pretty much just came from you, right? Crazy work. Diabolical in nature, diabolical nature. Let's just go into the next video.
All right, excuse me, Black people, Black women and men. I just want to tell y'all are brilliant. You're magical, you are worth it, and your black dollar.
Well, let me rewind this. I want to say technically this was when Brandon V. World would come in and say, "Here comes a new challenger." So this is basically a new challenger because, in a sense, we're now segueing away from the main topic, and but still we're dealing with other people that come directly into the community and have immense disrespect for Black Americans, right? So let me just rewind that and let this play.
All right, excuse me, black people, black women and men. I just want to tell y'all are brilliant. You're magical, you are worth it, and your black dollar counts. It counts so much that it affords them to send their kids to college, to live in 4 and 5 bedroom homes, and to drive their fancy cars into the same neighborhoods that they don't funnel money back into. What y'all did when I got in here was very disrespectful, highly unprofessional, and I've been giving you my money for a while, but here's what you do know. You'll never get my black dollar again. And everybody in here, I hope y'all understand. Please take your money somewhere where you're valued. I love each of you, and I didn't mean to disturb your peace, but I won't let it go unchecked again, because that's why y'all continue to do it. Conjugating, laughing together, and doing all that talking in your language like we don't understand. We don't understand what you're saying, but we understand the sentiment. Won't happen again, not on my dollar. Love y'all. Have a good one. Come to my money, baby, the last one you'll ever get. Do it now, and don't talk to me. You're lucky I'm changed and reformed. It'd be much different in here. Respect black people. I never see nobody that look like y'all on the other side of these chairs. That's the thing. Where they at? Yeah, it's ridiculous. I've been here many times. Almost a year. And what y'all did was very embarrassing. But I don't carry embarrassment like that. I don't pack it up and go home. I check it at the start. That's how my mama raised me. Come get this money, sweetie. That's y'all problem. We let y'all get away with that shit while we pay for your whole life. You wouldn't have shit without us. You understand what I'm saying. You understand exactly what I'm saying. Get this money and let me get out of here, baby. You hear me? Where do I swipe? You understand what I'm saying. Y'all understand what the fuck we be saying. We can't understand what y'all ass be saying. And that's the problem. Stop talking that shit up in here. You know where you at. We all need translators. That's what we need. When we coming up in here giving y'all our money, you talking that shit behind our back. How dare you? How dare you? You don't know what people going through or why they took time to come get their nails done in between. You don't know. Now you don't get no damn tip. Go to the next screen. Now you have the day you deserve. Goodbye, everybody. Y'all have a good one. Absolutely. I love you, black people. Bitch. Fuck you thought this is.
So let me see if I can pull this back just a little bit, because there's a right. So if we technically look right directly there, you can clearly see that you have out of all of the things that this black woman has stated, right? She was in one way or another disrespected. Obviously, she might have heard some things, or some things might have been said, murmured, or however it basically happened. But she felt that people were being disrespectful and decided to call them out. You still have people there sitting there. Out of all of her explanation, you still have people sitting there listening to the black woman preach, state how disrespected that she feels, telling them that, yo, you spend your money where it is that you are loved, where it is that people would actually care for you, where it is that people value and respect you. And you still have people sitting there patiently waiting to get their nails done. I don't know what else to sit up there and tell people. This is bringing me back the energy that she has. She reminds me of brother Tyrone Muhammad, and that is the brother that I talked about quite a few times over the years, where he protested directly against the nail shops in Chicago. One of which treated a black woman and her daughter a certain type of way, basically locked the mother out, but locked the daughter in the store, and the daughter was trying to get out. And it was over some type of discrepancy or whatnot, whatever. But you're not supposed to do anything like that. You're not supposed to. Oh, we're going to lock you directly in. You're not. You don't have the right to lock anybody directly in anywhere, and especially not a child. And brother Tyrone saw this, and he was like, "Yo, I got this, no problem. I'm going to risk my life and my freedom to send a message directly to these Asian shops. I'm going to go directly to this Asian shop, show up by myself, go directly in there by myself, have a conversation and let them know, including the women there, everything that took place and what is about to happen." He did all of that and told those women there who are getting their nails done, you might want to move, you might want to get out of here because I'm about to start breaking out these windows to send a message. He broke out those windows. And the women were still sitting there, I guess, thinking that he wasn't going to do it, thinking that it was whatnot or whatever. He started breaking out those windows, throwing bricks. And I kid you not, they were sitting there shocked. Oh my God. Da 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 da. I'm like, he told you what he was going to do. He told you the reason why he was doing it. But again, they did not care because that does not have anything to do with them. They want to get their nails done because they want to get their nails done. Just like the women that you see here, they're still there, even though that black woman is speaking, and not just for herself, but for them as well. And they're like, well, that don't got nothing to do with me. I got an appointment and I need to get my nails done because I need to get my nails done. What I'm basically trying to show off to a lot of black folks here is that you got a lot of people that ain't worth saving. You got a lot of people here that you need to leave behind. You got a lot of black people here that are just dead weight. And there's no way that you can sit up there and save them. Right? Because you're trying to save other people, including save yourself. But you can't do that if you're pulling dead weight and you're basically sinking. If you're sinking and you're latched on to other people, you're trying to lift them up and to propel them upward, you're going to basically bring them down because you still got that dead weight that you still haven't let go of. So like I said, a lot of these folks that you happen to see, you can't save them. You got to just look past them. You got to leave them exactly where they are. They are in that place because they are meant to be in that place. Some people in life are made and built to be examples, and that is it. That is what they were just born for. They are made to be a living example of what it is that people happen to talk about every single time so that people can understand that these things are real. It's not imaginary. It's not fictitious. It's not a story that somebody just came up with. These are things that actually happen. So just like for example of this stuff here, you got that same exact thing that goes on directly in the black community. You got some people that just don't care. You got other people that are proactive. They're about the community. They're about cleaning up. They're about painting the houses, boarding up the houses, cutting the grass of like abandoned areas or whatnot, whatever, helping out their neighbors, helping out their family, and you know, doing all positive stuff in the community. You got other people that's just not about that life. Like I said, you got a lot of dead weight directly out here. So, you know, like I said before, you know, so it's a multitude of things out there that need to get fixed. They need to, you know, get referenced and talked about. The other person that I highlighted here, what's this dude named Nader? Want to sit up there and say that you're the one who's being disrespectful. Like I said, I promise you that this person ain't black. And especially I can promise you that this person is not black American. Like I said, it's crazy to me that everybody always want to have a response to when it is that black people are giving a response back to something that initially happened, but these same people never pull up to the scene when the main thing that started this happens. They never have a negative response. They never say anything towards that. It's only specifically to black Americans when it is that we respond to certain things or certain types of agitations. That's some crazy work. That's 100% crazy work. And again, for a lot of black Americans here, I just want to showcase this because this is just reflective in general. This is just in a sense the best video that I had to, in a sense, showcase this. You know, you just gotta, I don't know, you gotta figure it out. And you know, in a lot of instances, it might be family, might be friends. Like I told y'all before, you know, stuff that you want to do directly in life is going to be a lonely journey. It ain't meant for everybody to sit up there and walk directly with you. Some people just gonna, you know, have to meet you at another station, or some people just you just ain't gonna see them. You gotta, you know, understand that and know that, and you gotta be not afraid to sit up there and walk alone. If you really want the things that you want out of life, if you really want a betterment for yourself, your family, and all that other, like yo, you got to do things necessary, even if it hurts. You got to do the things that are necessary. Like I said, in order to, you know, in a sense, become great or to get the things that you want out of life, it requires a lot of sacrifice. The problem is that a lot of people are not willing or are not ready to actually sacrifice, but yet they want or feel that they deserve all of the positive things directly out of life. That's not how that works. The universe in life works off of equal exchange. If you want the best things for yourself and all this other type of stuff that you see, you got to go through a lot of pain and sacrifice in order to do it. If not, then you're going to be stuck in the exact same circumstances that you are currently in. Again, it's on you. And you only have to sit up there and have yourself to blame at the end of the day. You know? Like I said, you know, I don't got nothing else to sit up there and tell. I don't got nothing else. But I do have another video, right? I'm not sure. I gotta actually take a minute to look because I know that was like a while ago. And this person that was on social media actually had their video taken down because of what it is that they stated, and it was specifically dealing with quote unquote the Mexican or Latin men out there, quote unquote, being Dia. I'm not sure if y'all might have seen that video directly on TikTok. I'm actually trying to find the video real quick. Matter of fact, I want to give y'all hold on because this is basically a reference point. It's close to the exact same topic. Let me just showcase another thing here. And I want to note that this is a African woman who is basically cosplaying a masquerade. Like for the black woman out there, I'm pretty sure that you're going to understand and look at the stereotype that she's trying to play directly into and give off. Hold on, let me just make sure I gotta scroll back down to get that video again. Hold on. Cause I'm like, I saw this video, I'm like, yo, you gotta be the most ignorant person ever in life to do some foolishness like this. But here we go.
So you can also cook, not just dancing, no? Well, that's so good. I really thought you cannot cook, only dancing. What do you guys take me for in this app? Like, seriously? What do you take me for? Me, cook. Say wetin happen. A whole me, mascot. Your latest celebrity. Cook waiting. In fact, wait. Babe, please come.
Watch this.
Come. Now, listen.
Why am I not surprised?
Have I ever cooked in this house?
You
Me.
cooked.
Mm-hmm.
But
Have I ever cleaned in this house?
cleaned.
Yes.
You.
Me.
Tu fais à quoi?
Have I ever washed in this house?
You.
Me.
Washed.
Wash.
Never ever.
You see? How do you expect me to cook? How? I don't cook. I don't clean. I don't do nothing. Like, how do I cook? What will not happen to my steez when I go cooking? Celebrity, they cook. Now, why would they run Mario Oyibo? So that you no go suffer. You don't know. We don't do nothing. We are on the paradise. The only thing we do is order them around because I use juju. Me personally, I use better juju. So I just order around. Like, babe, can you get me my drink? Get me my drink. Hurry. Yes, my sister. You see, just like that. You feel like I don't cook.
May I hold it?
And it's a you walk. See, the juju is working. It's working well. Can you give your madam a kiss? Good. That's how it's done. I'm going to come and
So I wonder who that was a caricature of. I wonder who she is dressed like. I wonder who she is mocking. Because I can tell you that she's not trying to mock the women of her community, of her culture, of her traditions, of her religion, of her country, of her tribe. I can promise you that the women of her culture, tradition, and tribe, and all of those things don't have hair like that. Because we all know that that is pretty much an install, right? I'm pretty sure, like again, even with the whole thing of the gum, I know that by way, in a sense, dealing with, a lot of television shows, like let's say like in Living Color, even, like Martin, different things, right? Black American shows, right? Where we're gonna, make fun of certain stereotypes because it's us. We will poke fun directly at ourselves, right? This is vastly different. What she is imitating is what she actually sees and thinks and deems Black American women to be. And this is what a lot of Africans tend to do when they do content like this. And people wonder why it is that Black Americans have a response or we talk the way that we do when it deals with Africans. This is why, because y'all do stuff like this. You sitting up here posturing, trying to quote unquote show off your body, and you're trying to, do this and that and all this. Like, brother, like I said, the proof is in the pudding. The proof is directly in the pudding. Like I said, I don't know what else. I don't know what else to sit up there and tell people. I could just keep bringing up video after video after video after video. Like I said, and then on top of that, she's sitting up there quoting Cardi B. Cardi B is not even Black American. She said herself on the stand. Cardi B said herself that she is Afro-Caribbean. She ain't Black American. Case in point, what's the name you used to always say? Me no black, right? That type of deal. That's literally what Cardi B said directly on the stand. Remember, she had to put her hand on the Bible before she went on the stand, like everybody else do. You got to put your hand on the Bible. You got to swear the oath and all this other type of stuff and yada yada yada. Afro-Caribbean. Because the funny thing is, a white lawyer specifically asked her, or whoever it was, Caucasian, he specifically asked Cardi B on the stand, like, so what do you consider yourself as? Do you consider yourself as Black, other, or whatnot, whatever? She took a few seconds. She was like, Afro-Caribbean. The lawyer, for whatever reason, her lawyer tried to, go against the response or whatnot. But I'm like, dog, no, she said exactly what it is that she is. No, that needs to be heard for a lot of people because people don't happen to get it. When we happen to say that we know that people ain't Black and we know that they don't identify as Black, we mean just that. So when you go back and you listen to Cardi B and you hear some of the stuff that she said about Black American women, you know why she said those exact same things, right? She was like pretty much her whole life. And usually when you have people like that of that community, they will look at the darker complected people as a certain type of thing. And Cardi B sat up there and called Black women roaches. So like I said before, I'm going to stand on that until I can't stand anymore. Like I said, a lot of these people out here are not Black American. It is what it is. People need to sit up there and deal with it. This is why delineation is a thing that needs to sit up there and happen. If we have people that are here that love us and agree with us and all that, that's cool. No problem. I don't got no problem with them. I don't got no problem. It's all love. I have no issues, no problems at all. again, like I said before, is to the loudmouth majority where all of these problems specifically stem from. And there's not enough Africans out of the hundreds of millions of Africans that are out here. There's not enough Africans speaking against all of the nonsense that these other Africans out here are saying on social media and elsewhere about Black Americans. Like I said, for me, I'm looking at, the Africans out here. It's like, yo, y'all quiet. Y'all real silent when it deals with your own people. And that's problematic for me. But yet you want Black Americans to basically try to calm down our people when it is that they want to just so happen to give a response. Huh? That's crazy to me. But better yet, let's go directly. Let me see if I can happen to find that video, because I did say that I was gonna highlight that video, because I want to highlight that real quick. I think I might have gave y'all a standalone video detailing that, because I remember how the dude look. He had on these type of like ski sunglasses, and he was talking directly in a car. I might have. Yeah. Okay, it might not be here. Let me see. I might have to do all files. Let me see. Yeah, it's not going to be yesterday. I can tell you that one. Man, that's a little bit problematic, because I know I wouldn't be able to actually specifically go through my hard drive real quick to sit up there and find it. It's too much stuff on there. I wouldn't even be able to specifically just go there to find it. Let me see. Hopefully it might be amongst, because it wasn't that long ago that I actually captured that. Well, guess it was. All right, so that might be on another hard drive. But regardless, we got one more video. Let me see. Let me just wait. That was weeks earlier. Wait, is it? Let me see if it might be. No, I can't, because that was the whole interracial thing. This was a whole different video. Yeah, I do also got some videos coming directly up for you guys later on today, going directly over some other topics as well, such as government assistance, who's using it, who's receiving it, and in my point of view, abusing said government assistance, because it's crazy. And the way that people are sitting up there using it and flaunting it directly online is completely baffling to me. And it's something that really shouldn't even be happening for the most part. Because if it was any of us sitting up there doing that, it would be a problem. People would have a lot to specifically say. Right? So let's just take a look at this video.
Mexican man right here is trying to blame Black America for all the DL that Mexican videos that are being created. And as the individual that started this with Dominicans, man, I'm here to tell you that that is a lie. Because I created the first video talking about DL Dominican men. And then the Mexican Thanos made a video about DL Mexicans. And that video just shook the internet to its core, because it was a secret that nobody knew, including Latinos, right? And in the comment section of all the videos, I got over 1 million views on my videos on TikTok alone. On Instagram, I got over 500,000 views, right? And in the comment section, all I kept seeing was Black Americans saying, why is this on my feed? How did I end up here? And obviously DL drama, apparently people, it's interesting, right? So once they were there, they stood around for the tea, and all they said, yo, have y'all heard about this? That's all they said, man. This came from our community. This is DL Mexicans fault for being under DL for so long, and it's just being exposed. So don't try to make a scene that Black people are doing this and they're not running a narrative. This is facts, and this is why it shook the internet to its core, because nobody knew about the DL Mexicans. Apparently everybody knew about DL Dominicans except me, right? So no, you ain't gonna blame Black people for this, bro. Yeah, blame DL Mexicans. You probably want to though, man, because why you trying to put this on? Why you trying to put the heat on Black people for? You on the deal? Why you so triggered? I ain't triggered about the DL Dominicans, right? I was just a little upset I fell at their old bottoms, because I'm like, yo, if you're gonna gay the right way and be a man about it, bro. But they all bending over for these Black American dudes in Washington Heights.
Oh man, that's wild. My bad. This is my first. This is my first time seeing an old video. Oh my goodness, yo, that's wild. That's hilarious. But let me try to give y'all a clip because I tried to actually find a video of the full totality of what the dude was saying. People only like use like snippets, and I'm pretty sure that dude actually took once everybody caught wind of what it is that he was trying to do. He took it
What's so
down.
crazy about the whole DL Mexican situation? The majority of the videos aren't even Mexicans or Hispanic people talking about DL Mexicans or any of that. It's actually the African American community. It's the black people that are making these videos, and they're getting.
So, right, he wanted to say it ain't my people that's sitting up there making these videos. It's the blacks. Do y'all see? This is what we be talking about. How again? Now I want everybody to understand, right? I for a while now I've been focused on a variety of other groups out there talking real slick, talking real greasy about Black Americans, right? We've been minding our business, focused on other stuff, right? And probably some other videos in between. This clown right here sees a video specifically about the men of his community, and somehow, some way, by the imagination that he has, decided that, oh, I'm going to blame imaginary black people for this. What? How? We don't care about y'all like that. We are not in y'all business. Only you know yourselves. You remember Smokey the Bear? Only you can prevent forest fires, right? Only you know about yourself. So if you know that a fire is happening and you see smoke and it's in your community, obviously somebody in your community did it. It don't got nothing to do with nobody black. That's coming from within the community, not outside. Again, black people don't got nothing to do with this. We are not that deep in y'all business, or even care to be that deep in y'all business or in y'all family business to even know who is this and who is that and everything with a baseball cap. We don't care. But again, like I said, somehow, some way, we always get blamed for something. And this is what I be talking about. People just don't know what to say. Y'all get online and y'all just want to start saying any and everything about black people, and y'all think that we ain't gonna have a response. The only difference is that when it deals with this topic, you now got black people in it and responding because you wanted to pull up to the scene and say something stupid to us. You didn't like. I got women of his community that were bringing this up. They were up there talking about like uncles and all this other type of stuff. I might have highlighted that in a video a week ago, right? But do you think that he got any smoke for those people? Do you think that he got any smoke for the gay guy in his community that decided to speak on this? And he was talking about the uncles and how it is that they like to sit up there and get drunk and do this and do that and be sleeping with this and sleeping with. Nah, he ain't had no smoke for that. He magically got energy for black people. Bro, it's a lot of projection here. Don't blame us. Don't blame us. Like it's highly questionable how you pulling up to the scene and you want to sit up there and talk about this. Matter of fact, put a shirt on. Put a shirt on. Like this is real crazy. You want to sit up there and have some type of energy come directly at us, but you don't got the same energy for your own folks, your own women, your own men directly in your community that's talking about this. Like, dog, stop blaming us for stuff, man. Stop blaming us. We don't got nothing to do with the gay community over there in your community. Come on now. What like what? What's happening? Like I said, they bringing up stuff that you've been knew about. Like I said, I didn't sit up there and seen TikTok stories or stories directly on X on things that y'all be doing when y'all younger. Like, let's come on now. Come on, brother. Let's not do this. Let's not do this. It won't go well. The internet is out there. Shout out to the X-Files. What was it? Sports Lee said he's the Elden. His boyfriend must be black and he's about to get exposed. He's trying to beat the allegations. He probably is. He probably is. Case in point, actually speaking on that, because like I said, I like to speak on a variety of topics. And I was trying to figure out if I was going to put this in a solo video or not. But as of recently, you had the owner, I want to say it should be the owner of Crumble, who recently I know a lot of people aren't going to care, and I completely understand. But the owner of Crumble decided that he wanted to specifically come directly out. And the reason why the owner of Crumble ended up coming directly out was because there was a young Caucasian gay male who decided I will probably do it as like a solo one. So if people want to watch it, they can. If they don't, they don't. Right. I'll let this play real quick, right?
This is my face after watching a video of the Crumble CEO and seeing that that's apparently a straight man. No, it's not. That man is so gay. That man is gay to the gods. There's a genetic component to sexuality, mama, and let's just say he has the gene, and there's no denying evolution, babe. Oh my god. That's a gay man. That's a gay man, and I'll say it to his face. There's no denying it. Holy shit. And the fact that he's not, I don't even care. I don't care if I'm outing a CEO with millions of dollars.
So you heard that, right?
Fuck, but that's a gay man. Y'all go look for yourselves, because there's no denying it. Just go search and look it up for yourselves. Oh my god. My jaw dropped. My jaw dropped that this man's trying to say he's straight and Republican or something. It's hilarious.
Right. So we heard that, correct? And this is who it is that he's talking about, right? Let me just mute that. Right? So this is the person that he's talking about. And kid you not, recently, that exact same person that I just showed you, and I want y'all to know that is obviously a person. The first guy is obviously of the community. Recently, I'm trying to see if I can actually find the video real quick. Yep, there we go. Right.
Guys,
So we saw that, right? This is the exact same person. So I want to know to anybody out there that, you know, likes to sit up there and say like, yo, Seji, why, you know, Black American men are homophobic, da-da-da. Why are people so afraid of gay people? You guys don't have a right to sit up there and out people. That was a gay man that decided that he wanted to out somebody who obviously was not ready to come directly out yet. Conservative white male who was just, you know, out there doing whatnot or whatever, right? He decided to sit up there and do that. Again, this is the same community that tells straight people to mind our own business. You don't have the right to out or to say this. People should be able to live their lives and do and progress however it is. When they find themselves, they find themselves, right? Y'all, they like to sit up there and say all of that, right? So now this is the response, right?
Word that the Crumble co-founder just came out. This was not my intention to ever out somebody in this way, but girl, I am so happy.
Hurry up, our train's coming.
Girl, I'm so happy for you and so proud of you. You are hot and you are going to live your best open out gay life, mama. Like, you are chiseled, you are cut. Like, it's gonna be such a gag. But you guys, I did not mean for this to happen the way it did. I am so sorry, Sawyer, but I think you'll be fine, girl. You got money, you got beautiful homes, beautiful clothes, and you probably have a gorgeous hole in a way that's like, you know what I mean. I wish I could retract what I just said, but you're gonna be fine. I think you are gonna do great in this world, and I'm proud of you. And keeping up the good work. Sorry, y'all. Just like that, our train's here, so we gotta go. We gotta go. But our train's here, so. But thank you, Sawyer. I'm sorry, Sawyer. It was nasty of me, and I admit that. It was nasty of me. I didn't mean for it to end up like this. But I'm proud of you, and I'm happy for you. Off we go, onto the train. We're going on the L. At least you don't gotta ride the subway like us. So there is that. There is that.
there's hope. So thank you, Sawyer. Thank you everyone for your support for Sawyer, and yeah, and I'm sorry. I admit what I did was wrong. Like, at the end of the day, it was wrong. So off we go to the top.
Right? Couldn't even give an actual apology. Couldn't even really admit that, yo, you really messed up. You affected somebody's life and you probably did irreversible damage because you decided that it was your right, being a gay male, to specifically out somebody else who you thought or had a theory was gay because you saw certain types of things from, different types of content and all this other type of stuff. So the very first video that I, in a sense, showed you guys, which was this one
Hey, that
here, I want y'all to understand that this was prior, right? This was the start. 4 days after this video, that's when the Crumble, the owner of Crumble or whatnot, whatever, basically came out and stated what he had to, state, or what he felt like he had to sit up there and state, right? Like I said, it's crazy, when you got people out here that say don't be judgmental, be some of the most judgmental people in this whole planet. So, like I said, a lot of people don't actually have the room to sit up there and talk. I throw this right up there with highly religious people like pastors that want to horribly judge people. And then there are some of the main ones doing a lot of things that they shouldn't be doing, sleeping with members of the congregation, sleeping with people who might not even be of age, right? Sitting up there having stepping out, having children elsewhere, going out there and looking for women of the night and all this other type of stuff and doing drugs and what. But these are the same people that's supposed to lead you directly to God. How? They're doing the wrong things every single day. Like I said, it's a crazy world that we live in. It's diabolical. It is diabolical in nature. Diabolical in nature. It's crazy. It's crazy, 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 crazy. Diabolical in nature. But yeah, like I said before, at the end of the day, what is going to happen is always going to happen. Black Americans are going to defend and protect themselves against any and all people who decide that they want to pull directly up to the scene and say anything negative directly to us. We're going to gather the energy and return it right to sender, and we will see you in the next life. And hopefully in that next life, you will be better and do better. If not, it's going to be the exact same thing, just a different form. It's the best that I got for you. Right? But anyways, much love, respect, and appreciation to any and all folks who have been here and present through the whole live stream. Current viewers are actually looking great at this moment in time. Like I said, I love y'all out. Thank you guys. I highly, appreciate this, and I love doing this, whenever I can, or as consistent as possible, because I love playing directly with numbers and happening to look at those. Current viewers at this moment in time is 237, and we have 200. We just now hit 237 likes on the stream. Much love, respect, and appreciation. And average duration looks incredible. I have not seen an average duration like that before. It is incredible. Thank you very much to you guys. This is letting me know that I need to really, start hitting the road and start doing a lot more live streams, because obviously people are engaged, or people just so happen to enjoy them, or find, something directly there. And for a grand total of viewers that we've had about 15,594 people that have come directly in and out or through the stream for the duration of the 2 hours and 58 minutes. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Again, shout out to anybody who donated. Shout out to all of my members. Like D Money always says, shout out to the regulars. Shout out to all of my beautiful, wonderful mods directly out here who always do God's work. Much love, respect, and appreciation. If I forgot any shout outs to anybody who came directly through, my apologies. Because the chat be moving. I got tunnel vision, when I start talking, and I try to juggle everything to try to stay consistent and not run too far off on tangents into other types of things. So yeah. And for anybody that may have just came in and got here late, hey, much love, respect, and appreciation. Sorry that the notifications did not properly get directly to you. I wish I had more control over that, because I would make sure you would get those notifications, but it is what it is. The live stream will be up for replay, so you can peruse and listen to this through work. I actually got a comment on one of the previous live streams where somebody told me that they like this form or type of content because it makes it easier for them to listen to and go through work. So again, like I said, I'm happy that I can have content out there that can that's enjoyable one way or another. And again, like I said before, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do without the people who come directly through to the channel. Like I said, shout out to a lot of people. It'd be great if more people who pulled up to the scene would actually subscribe, but it'd be like that. Can't get everything, so you gotta take what it is that you can get. Nikki said, I love it here. Hey, much love, respect, and appreciation. I'm glad you find it enjoyable. I'm glad you find it pleasant and enjoyable. Xavier said, thank you. People's got to run. Keep it up, Seji. It's crazy work out here. That is bars. That is bars. Yo, love, what is up? What's up? You said love to the people. Sport Lee said, much love, family. Sham says, Seji on Path of Exiles. It keeps pushing me to the London servers. That is weird, because I know you're not from the UK. You are here with us, so it's it's a little bit weird. That I got you. I'll sit up there. I'll try to, I guess, help you out on that or something. But yeah, anyways, Ash, I see you down there. You said I've been subscribed for you. Yeah, you've been here. You've been here for a while. You've been here for, I can't even tell you the amount of years. Like, everything is completely fluid at this moment in time when it deals with like the start of being a content creator to like now everything is like water, my friend. Everything is like water. Shout out to Bruce Lee. But yeah, that's pretty much where it is, for me at this moment in time. Things are not just strictly in a box when it deals with, content and everything. It's, everything is melded together. Shout out to the Mandela effect, but we're here. So I will catch you guys in the next live stream and or video. I'll make sure to have a lot of these videos in solo format directly for you guys, so you guys don't have to sit through a whole or listen through a whole, almost close to 3-hour, live stream and and do that. You say you I hate Call of Duty, ruined my life. Oh man, he said glad to be new up in here. Much love, respect, and appreciation. You said I saw your playback of that Etrian dude was wild. He was chewing wild. He was wrong to say you don't know your grandparents. Yeah, like I said, that was the craziest thing I ever heard in my life. By far, out of all the things that I've ever heard Africans say, or anybody else basically say about Black Americans, like I said, I don't even know. I don't even know what else that people can even say to even match that. I'm not even sure at this moment in time, but I'm pretty sure somebody out there will try and they will do it. Right. But anyways, much love, respect, and appreciation. I will catch you guys in the next video and or live stream. Peace. Well, let me make sure to put up a different image, because I ain't trying to have no, supernatural nonsense, taking place. So I'll just do that for a few seconds and leave that directly up there. So that'll be the final image. All right. Peace out.